we make money every day. So, you know what I'm saying? Put up some fucking money, help somebody else, and call it a day.
I'm short USD right now. You probably get it. I'm like 30 something standards right now in this thing.
Stop lying.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, I'm going pure price action right there off momentum. Just like that. Not waiting for a retest.
Okay. Is that James Storms and Dimitri on the same screen?
What I was just saying. Where?
Yeah, what up? You outside?
That's awesome.
Hey, bro, you halfway now.
Halfway to what? To the goal?
If the sensei says put a band in there, I
Put
listen
a fucking band. Put your money up.
Yo, Q, let me know when you want the sauce in the basketball. I haven't forgotten.
Mr. L, relax. Relax.
Nice, man.
Wow, there we fucking go.
1,200. And that's still not including, guys, keep in mind what we have left on the table.
What's going on, YouTube? We're going to be breaking the world record for the longest trading stream in order to raise money for charity. Since October is St. Jude's month, all the proceeds from this stream are going to go to St. Jude's Hospital. First off, make sure to click, like, and subscribe. We're going to be posting a recap video afterwards. And if you guys are interested, we're going to be raising $10,000 in those 12 hours. So if you guys want to join, we're going to be on YouTube. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, the FX Summit 2022 is going to be from May 13th to May 16th, 2022 in Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to fxsummit2022.com for more information and to reserve your tickets. You will not want to miss this event.
Yo, Roy, I have a question for Anthony. Actually, two questions for him.
Run it.
This is one of the things that I've always asked myself, because I see a guy taking 100, 200 lot size. So what is your drawdown look like, if you have any? And the second one is, if you do have drawdown, how do you deal with your psychology?
I mean, I always have drawdown. I mean, not always, but like sometimes, like, because I'm not that person. Like, if I'm being honest with you, like, I'm not that trader that's going to be like, oh, I need to get this perfect entry, this exact entry. I have the account balance to hold it, so I don't really give a shit. Okay. But that's just my emotions when it comes to trading. I've been trading for a very, very long time. And so I'm just that way. I'm short US30 right now.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this 35K. I think we're going to consolidate here during London. And then all I need is basically like a wick up. As soon as I see that wick up, we're good to go, baby.
You probably get it. I'm like 30 something standards right now in this thing.
Stop lying.
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You got 30 standards open on US 30?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. So I think that's my net worth. I think your spread might be my net worth.
Now I'm on the longest FX live stream on YouTube ever right now.
Wait. You got to say the second part, which is fundraising for charity. Shout out to.
Oh, it's a fundraiser for charity. I'll donate. Oh, send me the donation link. No, so back to the question he was asking, how do I handle drawdown? I'm just different, and when it comes to drawdown, it's just like I've learned it's just part of it, and I'm just kind of emotionless when it comes to the charts now. It's just kind of how I am, how I feel, and how I breathe with the charts. I have just a natural feeling, and if it's like, there's a lot of times I look at charts and I'm like, I can't really explain why it's doing what it's doing, but it is. You got GU selling. Go back to that. Pull up the daily. Don't erase. I'm not trying to change your analysis. I just want to like look with you. So like, I totally see, this is another one of those weird things that, like, for me, like, my intuition tells me this thing has a very high probability to keep rising.
Yep.
Even though there is a very strong structure level there. But see, the biggest thing for me is, so it did create a lower low. You see how it created a lower low. So it started to form a downtrend, right? So it started to form this downtrend. You had right where your top mouse is. Yep. Yeah, right there you had a high, lower low, higher low, lower low, higher low, right? But the big thing for me that changed the perspective was, I mean, looking at it that way, it definitely looks like it. Go back to the daily, please. Looks like it could keep dropping. But what I am seeing is that you had two massive engulfing bearish candles to the downside.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had 4 and then it took you 4 daily candles to come back to that top right there. So what I'm thinking is, since that there was so much massive consolidation to the left hand side, that it took a very, very long time to break right there with the two massive bearish candles, it happened too fast. So the natural reaction for people right now is to sell. So I am basing off of human emotions, right? I can guarantee you almost 80. I guarantee that's a 61.8 retracement, right?
From top to bottom, yeah.
Yep, 61.8 retracement. So every human's natural instinct, if they trade the daily time frame, is to look for that retrace, look for that proper on the 61.8. The fact that it's sending us another, so it's about 70, I guess, about 61.8, 70. Oh yeah, 61.8.
Depends how you draw it. If you draw it from this top wick, but then if you draw it from here, we tap.
But you would never draw it from that bottom wick. You draw it from that top wick. But the fact that it turned around right around the 50 and then started to head back up, you are going to, I personally believe you're going to see this thing continue to rise.
Which one of these would you prefer? The bottom one or the top one? Which, like a breakup structure and then like a closure? Or would
if I was looking to buy, preferably I would prefer the break to the high side and then retest and then go back up. If it were to shoot back down, I would then look at it differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's just a lot of things that I have learned over the years that is not necessarily right or wrong, because this trade could very well, like, you could probably pull like, so where would your take profit here be?
If I shorted it?
Yeah, just curious.
So double top, I would basically just use my fibs on the way down. And so I would do TP1. And then this structure right here is TP2. And then the 23.6 would be my last take profit.
Let me show you some fun stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yep. So from there, down to the bottom, back to the top.
Back to all the way to the highs?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, scroll down. So I use 1272, 1414, and 1618 as my take profits. I wish I could like control my screen and show you, but I can't.
You can share your screen if you want. You want screen sharing for a sec?
Yeah, I'd love to show you. So what I would be looking to do if I'm taking the trade based off of these parameters, you know what I mean? I don't necessarily believe that this is what's going to play out, but if I was taking that, what I would do originally is stop loss would 100% be in profit by the 23.6. First take profit would be here. Second take profit would be 272. And then I would zoom out, and whatever has the most structure between the 414 or the 618. I like the 414 because it's safer. And the structure right here. 618 right there. Could play out, but I like the 414. So I would draw this position looking something like this. Make sense?
Dude,
that's kind of how I would do it. So stop loss and profit. And the reason your stop loss goes in profit at the 23.6 is because most harmonic patterns that play out are going to reverse at the 23.6.
But why would you guys be taking a sell when the last candle was bullish to begin with?
Yo.
Right here?
Yeah, like
I wouldn't be taking a sell.
There's no market structure to support a sell there at all. So like
right
anyone
here?
who's looking at 100%.
So
what's up, Ted? How you living?
What's up,
baby?
Anthony? How you doing?
I'm wonderful.
It's good. I like having these conversations because
I
this
do
is
too.
one of the things I like about trading. It's the same thing when I used to play poker. Is like we could sit and discuss strategy over and over again, and like nobody's right or wrong, but it's good discussion. And people get offended with that. And it's like, no, it's like you want a challenge so that people can think differently.
100%. Like, because I am not a perfect trader, and I know that, but I can also handle when I'm
you're
wrong.
pretty close. I mean,
I can handle, but I can handle. I'm a profitable trader. I'm not a perfect trader.
Well,
I can handle when I'm wrong.
I think the like the good traders can have these conversations, not get offended. Like that's why I asked it. I asked it not to be an ass, but just to sort of challenge the perspective and say, okay, well, give me the rationale behind that, because I know people are watching and I want to understand, because I have my rationale as well, like listening to what you guys were saying. So I mean, I just didn't want to chime in as you're going, but I figure I'll jump in once.
Yeah, no, I was explaining to where if I was taking the sell, what I would use as my take profits.
Yeah.
And why I could justify if someone did take the sell. I can justify why the retail trader that's new in the industry would take the trade.
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge with new retail traders is they don't wait. There's no patience.
No, none at all.
Like you're like, I hear people all the time and they say, well, I'm going to sell. And it's like, it's still a bullish candle or bullish time frame, and it's like, because they see, looking at the left, they see a rejection and they're like, well, it's going to reject here again, so like they're anticipating it. Where I think you're right in this case is, if people took a sell, I would say take a sell once the next daily candle flips bearish.
Exactly.
Like why go through that drawdown? Like why put yourself through hell hoping that it flips? Wait for it to flip, because the number one rule I've always implemented is, a trend isn't going to be just one day. It's going to be 3-4 days. So you're never going to miss it if you wait an extra day.
And let's be honest, 90% of the traders that like, oh yeah, well, it's a good trade, they wouldn't hold the trade anyways, because they'd be getting out so fast. And that's just what they don't understand. I really wish
you were here this morning, because you probably would have saved me the drawdown from taking this trade in the first place. Because we actually had a sell limit right here.
Yeah. Well, the challenge this week too, there, Roy, was the fact that you're an NFP, right? So any sort of US pair, and this is what I try and tell people, is any sort of US pair throughout the NFP week, you have two, like it obviously it's obvious, it's pretty obvious. You have two setups that happen, and I've been caught in both. One where you catch every single right direction every day because it's NFP week and you caught the right side, or the opposite happens. You get stuck in ranges, you get stuck in like sort of what I call like institutional jet wash, because everybody's accumulating orders. So I've, in the last, 2.5 years, 3 years of trading NFP week, I've always sort of reduced my risk. And I've learned that the hard way, because there's been days where, like you said, you get stuck in a drawdown and you're like, what the hell? Like, why did I do this to myself? Knowing very well it's a US dollar pair and there's not going to be any movement till Friday. And it's like, it's just human nature. You want to get your trade in, you want to, make some money for the day. Meanwhile, when it comes to Friday and you look at hindsight, you're like, I wasted 9 or 10 hours of my week trying to get out of consolidation, trading like small breakouts. And then the big move comes on Friday. And then suddenly the following week, everything's so much easier.
It makes sense. And it makes sense.
Yeah. And I've said that to many people. It's like, if you look at structure, and NFP normally sets the tone for the rest of the month. And I think a lot of people don't pay attention, but if you look at weeks 2 and 3 of your trading journal in a month, those are usually your bread and butter weeks. Those are like, everything just flows so easily, candles are huge, there's big moves, and it's like you just close your eyes and click buy or sell and it works. But then what happens is, you come over to the end of the month and the last week of the month and you apply that same philosophy, and that's where you get ruined. Because I get it all the time. I get hundreds of DMs going, I had the greatest week of my life trading last week, and then this week I blew it. And it's like, yeah, because you applied the same sort of strategy last week that was close your eyes and click a button, which worked perfectly, because I've done that too. I've sat back and I'm like, I'll just keep collecting it. And then the following week comes and you're like, well, why didn't it work again? And it's like, well, no, you didn't pay attention to the overall structure. So I think, yeah, it's the same thing with NFP week, is people don't pay attention to those small nuances and they get lucky. But then when you look at your statistics over the long term, you're not as lucky as you think. You're just remembering the highlights, and you're not remembering the fact that you struggled for the whole week trying to collect, like 10 pips or 20 pips or whatever you're trying to do. It's a real struggle. Like, I mean, I trade gold primarily, and this week has been hilarious because for 3 days, the exact same thing has happened every single day to the hour almost. And you know, if you picked up on it, you made easy money because it's like, okay, it's going to drop here and now it's going to fly up at like X hour. And it did that every single day this week.
It really did, didn't it?
Yeah, because you
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, because you can see the daily candle and you can see how they finished. They all tapped the same region at the bottom side and they all went up to the top side, same region. So if you played that range, you're perfect. But then what people are trying to do is people are trying to hold trades or trying to do it's like, no, the structure didn't allow it because we haven't broken out of that daily range. And I think people, you know, they get stuck in that. And it'll break out obviously tomorrow because tomorrow, you know, if NFP, obviously, if it's positive, it should drive gold down to like 1720 or 1730. But, you know, once again, we have to wait and see. But then, you know, you have everything set up for the following week. But yeah, I do agree. I think patience is the key. And it's funny when people, you know, sell and it just bothers me because if people are selling when the candles are going up and I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why put yourself through that torture? Like,
or if you can handle it, you can handle it, then do it. You know what I mean?
But I don't want to cut you guys off, but I am I'm considering shorting this NASDAQ. I think that the price is a little bit too far from that entry. So what I'm going to do is smaller time frame it, see if we can get a pullback to this area here, and then just take some shorts to the downside.
My personal opinion, you are going to see it rise. I mean, I see why you would short. See, that's the one thing I love about the way you trade is that you're not afraid to take a setup, and you're also your R to R is incredible. And that's one thing that I think that you're going to as time gets. Because how long have you been trading?
I want to say seriously since like 2018, but really since
yeah. So you're like so new to the industry still. Yeah, your setups have such a high R to R, and that's why you're not afraid. And I think you finally learned how to like, you know, risk yourself. And I think I see why you would draw that pattern, but it's not really like a pattern. I think there's potential to see I'm looking at my phone, so I don't really have I think there's potential to see 515135 before you see a short.
So this is the way, like the real way that I trade is I basically have these zones and I mark off the highs and lows as it makes them. And then I basically trade a breakout in direction. So there's this one, there's this consolidation here, there's this consolidation up here. What you notice is if you connect the dots, it's all just break and retest from one zone to the next. And then down
that's why you have a high R to R though, because if you catch the right break, then you're good. But if you don't, then you lose, but you know how to properly manage.
For sure. And I think
that's honestly why like I can't wait till you're like year like 6, 7. You know what I mean? I can't wait till you're like year 6, 7. Like, you know, because you're a really good trader now, and you're like, but you're learning and you're growing, but there's just things that like I can even tell, like, you know, that I know that Ted knows because he can play off of like other emotions. Like I can tell the other emotions. So right now you're on a live stream, you're talking to me and Ted, you're talking to people, you're a live stream. Your emotions right now are like this. They're fucking high. They're fucking high, bro.
Yeah, but for trading is the same for me. Like regardless of, because I mean, dude, that's what trading is. It's high stress. I mean, you guys are like you having you and Ted on here. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. Like, yeah, obviously it's like having, you know, it's like, you know.
Yeah, I get it.
But I think like, I see structure pretty straightforward. We're either gonna do this or we're gonna do this.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
And right now, just the way that this candle is forming, and obviously, like we still have about 40 minutes left of this 4-hour candle to close, but just the way it's forming at this previous sell zone, there's like a 90% chance that we're coming back down here. And then from here,
agreed.
And then that's the exact trade you should take. I mean, but I definitely think you're like before another good short opportunity, you're gonna see that up zone upward. Is what I say.
Yeah, there's like
that's the difference between like what I don't trade though. Like if I'm not like you're confident in the setup, like for me it has to be like very specific, and that's just how I feel as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a swing. Like if anything, this probably will be just like a scalp halfway in the range.
So what would your stop loss be? Just out of curiosity on this trade, what would your stop loss be? So if you're entering right now, where is your stop loss?
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't enter now. I'm really big on getting a good position, so I'd put a sell limit here. or just like manually enter since we're here. And then stop loss above the previous highs, which would be about 89 points. Kind of high, but the R&R is there. So it'd be about 2 to 1, because this thing could still flip up. Like this thing could flip up, hit the 78 right here, and then crash. So I give it enough room to breathe. I don't enter once the market leaves the station. I don't usually like to enter. I usually want to wait for it to curl back up and then take a better R&R.
So, but if it didn't curl up, you wouldn't enter.
Yeah, I would just basically leave it. Like a lot of what I used to do, and this is how I know I'm maturing as a trader, is I would literally just like enter the trade because I'm like, okay, it just broke the neckline. We're going to end up down here. Let me just take the trade. And then all of a sudden this thing goes down probably like 10, 15 points and then retraces all the way back to that 78. I'm holding crazy drawdown. I might close the trade and then the market might go my way.
Yo, I have another question for Ted and Anthony.
I see that for sure. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's usually what I'd wait for. To be honest, similar to what Anthony was saying, you have this sort of structure here. It doesn't lend itself to have that drop yet. What you're looking for is you need one more rejection from this area. So if you were to say, okay, this is your zone, right? You go right from here, you're going to get a lot of traffic through this, right? So you're going to be bouncing in this. So what you need is one more candle to pop up through here and then drive out. And that brings you then to your sort of your next level and then through this. This is where people get caught a lot because like Anthony said, it could pop back up and what you'll find is maybe it pops up one more time and then it starts to drop. So what I normally like to do is if we're headed into a zone like this, what you can do is I map that out. You know, I map this whole zone out because you can clearly see that there's rejections all the way through here. So this would be my entire zone, right? So I would do that. And then what I would say to myself is, okay, this is going to pass through, right? You're going to pass through, but then what you're going to do is you're going to tap up one more time and then you're going to have the wick that'll just drive us all the way through. So, you know, you can trade in this area, but you get stuck in sort of that wash where once you get that one rejection, it'll just break through because essentially what you're doing is you're grabbing liquidity, say from this area over here where there's rejections, and you're saying, okay, now orders are getting pulled from this area last time, and now we're dropping at that point. And then you'll see your higher timeframes will match up with that as well.
So would you need like a candlestick closure clearly outside the range, or even if it fills this entire area with a full body, would that be enough?
Well, it's what like see like this is a candle that catches a lot of people, right? As an example, because you have like no rejection to the top side. So what's happening is you're just grabbing orders to go right back up. Obviously, you know, people that took a short here, their profits, but then you can start to see it starts to move up. Whereas when you look at actual rejections, I mean, there's not really good examples here on this section of the chart specifically, but like say over here as an example, right? You know, we can use that. That matches up with this area over here, right? So what we could say is we could look at that and then say, okay, this is, you know, a zone because we basically came up through that area, rejected, and then we started to go back down. And, you know, your higher time frames are still dictating a bearish trend down. So, you know, this is one of my favorite ideas here. This is sort of like a breather, right? It's like we're driving down and this fakes the crap out of everybody because it's like, oh, now we're flipping to go bullish. And it's like, no, this isn't a flip. This is basically just just a breather to continue to drive further down. And a lot of people make that mistake. And what they'll do is they'll start to take buys, right? And it's like, no, because like when you think about from a strategy or an institutional standpoint, it's like this candle makes no sense, right? If you have bearish, and then all of a sudden a bullish, like that doesn't mean that we're going back up, right? Because most times it just keeps going. But a lot of people look at that and they're like, oh, now I got the perfect bull entry to go back up. And it's like, no, you don't, because what you're looking for is you're looking for something similar to this, where you have a clean drive down that's below sort of that original zone, and then you start to drive up. And like you can see as an example with this candle here, you had lots of time to get involved in it, right? Like there's lots of time to move and lots of time to play with that. It's just you don't want to get stuck in those.
For sure. That trade here was actually just a scalp. So anything that I do, basically I always look at discounted prices and premium prices, and I always ask myself, like, are we low or are we high? And so when I'm looking at this, I know that we're in the middle of this range. So when I took this entry, it was like 300 pips, because you got to keep in mind NASDAQ is such a high volatility pair that even that move right there was 318 pips. And so we still managed to take out some profits, but it'll smash your break even every time. The real trades would be, and I don't know how I got so far away from my original analysis, but I got to bring that thing back just to show you guys something. Because the way that I was marking up NASDAQ was sort of like tracking the market opens and market closures. This was the New York session market open when I first started live streaming this morning. So this was the first buy that we caught, and it was the retest of this London session, these London session lows.
Which makes sense.
And then price opened and closed at the same exact price. This is what we were talking about, how very often prices will open and close at the same price. And so if you're just looking at price quotes, you'll like check it at the end of the day and be like, nothing happened. But then you'll realize that there was 900 pips up and 900 pips down. So this retest, like basically this range right here, we're going to continue to consolidate in. Once we have a break of that range, this is basically what you were saying, Ted. If we break to the downside and retest, usually on NASDAQ, when we have a consolidation range, once it breaks up, you usually have a pretty good move to the upside or downside.
So back to the same thing, patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
Definitely a patience game.
I think if people sit and they actually go through it and they exercise patience, you can dial in your trading to specific times that you want to like look at the charts. It doesn't necessarily mean you're executing, but you know that, hey, I should start looking at the charts at like whatever X time, in my day, and I can set myself up. So going back to Anthony's comment where he's like, he's not really concerned about sort of the session or where we're at. He knows that, okay, now is the time for his trading style to start looking and saying, okay, this is what I'm setting myself up for. I can execute on this because I'm comfortable knowing that I'm able to project, okay, these are my probabilities. It's going to go over to here, or we're going to come up over here. I'm going to get stopped out, or what's going to happen at that point. My style is a little different because I'm saying to myself, I know that there's not going to be a lot of market movement in Asian. I can trade through Asian session, but I know it's going to be slow. I'll grab what I can out of Asia, close it up, sleep, wake up, and then execute where there's more volume, get what I need, and then get out again. And then basically I've double dipped the market at that point.
I was explaining to the folks, I trade NASDAQ mostly nowadays. NASDAQ has a very specific schedule and it does not deviate. Right? Pre New York session consolidation, New York session market open, whipsaw, and then from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the trend of the day. And then 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. we have like a reversal or a continuation.
Yeah, and I mean, truthfully, if people actually digest a bit of how the markets are working, the markets are controlled by algorithms. And it's so easy once you start to pick up on that. And that's where like the human emotion side, like Anthony was saying, sort of gets to you, is you start to realize that there's patterns, and it's not like specific candle patterns or, any of these things that we talk about, but it's just in general, like the market moves at specific times. Like you can open your charts at like 3 p.m. Eastern and there's a massive move for some reason. Like nobody knows why. It just happens every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. Well, I don't trade it, but you can see it every day. There's a huge move in the market, and that starts the reversal for the end of the day or a little bit more of a push. But it's like, if you can start looking at those particular parts, like you said, like New York Stock Exchange open, things of that nature, you can really capitalize on your trading and, get like confidence. And I think that helps your emotional stability when you're trading, is try and grab wins. Like look at where the easiest part is and grab a win. Like don't have your ego tell you that, okay, I need to do what these guys are doing, or I need to hold my trade super long. Like just practice grabbing a win. Like it helps you so much to see your meta trader just to have win. Like 3 or 4 wins in a row. You just feel better about yourself other than getting beat up. Because when you think about it, and I think a lot of people, especially new traders, had this. You break even 3 or 4 times when you've been in profit. That hurts, because you're like, oh man, I had $100, I had $50, now I have 0. And you worked for that $100. No matter what you want to say, you put in work, you did the analysis, you executed, you were trading, and it's just, you were just trying to get a little bit more instead of just saying, hey, I can grab this $100 and leave for the day. and I have $100 in my pocket now, but everyone's always just trying to grab that little bit more. Grab that little bit more when you've already made $100 for the day and you're like, hey, my trade's running a little bit better. Don't try and grab more when you don't have anything already. Like if you're starting off on a Monday, like this is exactly what I do. When I start off on Monday or, Sunday night, I'm trying just to grab a win, just to start the week off right. I don't want to start off with a loss. So I'm very particular. I'm very slow, very methodical. Yeah, come Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, I'm turning on the juice. Like I'm going in there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take what I've won this week, take a percentage of that, and now I'm going to risk more to make more. Like I'm pressing. Right. And then Friday comes, it's like, okay, I don't want to lose what I just made this week. I slow right back down again.
I feel that. I love it. I love it. It's so true. It's just all human emotions. I just wanted to say real quick, I gotta hop off, but you're in long NZD CAD.
Yeah, I'm in NZD CAD longs. That's more of a swing position. Shout out to Jason Stewart for that.
Yeah, I wanted to show you this though. On NZD CAD, I like the longs too on that.
Here, take control. Take control real quick. Is that James Storms and Dimitri on the same screen?
What I was just saying, where?
Yo, what up? You outside? What's up?
That's awesome.
What up, man?
But what I was gonna say was the NZD CAD that you had too. I have that as well. Just because of the high RR, same thing that you're looking at for, but I would be looking to go a little bit longer, just because of that. I mean, that's your next key level. But it's just funny because Ted was talking about was it the daily? Where was that? It happened. Oh, here. And he was talking about that candle on the NAS, right? That you were talking about. You remember that, Ted? It's like, why does that exist right there? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing that's happened on the NAS, just on the lower time frame. It happened here. And it continues to happen over in the market. So you're probably going to end up seeing this thing, if it does end up rising a lot more than just to where you're at, take a profit, which is here.
Yeah, I think that's like a monthly swing position. This is going to be one of those I mean, I'm not a big swing trader, but this might be, this one might be worth holding for sure.
I mean, yes and no. It's only 196 pips. NZD CAD doesn't move, but you need to properly, use the right lot size. I'm in this right now. Only about 200 standards, but I'm in this position, and it's like that's a great position.
He said only about 200 standards. Did you guys see how casual he said
that? That's not as much as Ted does.
Yo, you and Ted are in a different ballgame. That's why.
Ted's a beast.
No, not really. I mean, I see. I disagree with that. I think a lot of people are misinterpreting the dollar figure as success. It's not. It's just repetition. I think people, and this is where I think the egos take over, and you get like the people that may hate or get angry at others. It's just like once you put like 4 years in, 3-4 years of chart work and trading in, and you experience, things become easier, and it's just a matter of just growing your account exponentially. And I don't think people have that in them because they've not experienced the success yet. So everybody, puts me on a pedestal or puts Anthony on a pedestal, and it's like, no, you can't really do that. It's not what you think it is. It's when it clicks, it clicks.
And it's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah, it honestly is. And it's just, I think a lot of people, when they start accumulating money, they're spending it before they're making it, right? Like the first time you make $100 in the markets, you're already thinking, okay, if I do this 5 more times, I'll have $500. And it's like, I'm constantly, even from my first day trading to today, I'm just like, I just want to win. I want to win today. Like I want to figure out how big. I don't care how big. I don't care how small. I just want to take a win, because I know 90% of people aren't taking a win today. And you'd be surprised, because some days, like I always get ridiculed. It's like, oh, you only got 4 pips or 3 pips today. Like, yeah, I took a win.
Who cares?
Yeah. But then there's other days I get 50 or 60 pips. Yeah. And it's just because it's just the way the market, what it gives you. Like you're not.
Yeah. And let's be honest, 4 pips on 1,000 standards is still 40 grand.
it's just people are so obsessed with these win ratios, this, you know, the risk to reward. And it's like some days you're not going to get the 1 to 3. You're going to get like the 1 to 2 or the 1 to 1. It doesn't mean you're not going to shoot for 1 to 3 or a positive risk to reward, but the market's just not going to allow it. So why take a loss if you don't have to? And I think that's the hardest thing that people do on a daily basis, is they force themselves to have these rules in place. Rules are there to guide you, but it's like on the highway, you know, they tell you not to stop, but if there's a fire truck coming, you got to pull over to the side. It doesn't mean you violated the rules. It's like sometimes there's just, you have to call an audible, you have to make an adjustment. It's the ability to do that, but then reset and say, okay, next trade, I'm going to go do this again. It's not, okay, well, I got away with it this time, now I can get away with it every time. And I think a lot of people just, they're so, you know, you give them a set of rules, they follow them to the T, and then they're like, well, why did it break? Or they're opposite, they're like, okay, I have no rules, I'm just going to do anything. Okay, why isn't it working? It's like, you have to find that balance.
You have to adapt.
You have to adapt. You have to be agile. And I think a lot of people are just so structured because they get fed this information from everybody. Okay, if you don't have a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, you're not trading properly. And it's like, who made these rules up? Like, I'm still waiting for the person to introduce me to the person who said, this is what you have to do on a daily basis to be profitable. And it's like, why does 90% of people fail? It's because they're all trying to do the same thing, and the same thing isn't working right now.
And they're trying to
Can I play
adapt.
devil's advocate here? Can I play devil's advocate?
Of course.
And this is only because this is not even because I disagree with what you say. I completely agree. Rules are supposed to guide. And so, like, you know, if I see something outside of the trading session that I'm supposed to be trading in, if the move is there, I'll still take it. So that's kind of an example of that. But the whole risk and reward thing is basically like, this is as simple as I can make it, because you could be trash at trading and be profitable. If you risk 1% to make 3, and you take 4 trades a week, do you see how that would work? So basically,
definitely.
But you have to make sure those 4 trades are actually proper and they actually make sense.
Well, that's for sure. That's you know, that's the whole thing about a strategy. But you would only need to win half of your trades to be profitable. You would need
definitely
3% win rate just to break even. So like, if you take 100 trades and you literally lose 70 of them, you'll still be profitable, or you'll still at least break even.
Right. That's a standard, you know, economic standard stock theory. Like that's a given. But what I'm saying is, why even lose that 70%?
Well, I'm definitely not advising anyone to have a 30% win rate. I'm saying that like, just to break even, like that's just your hurdle to break even. So if you hit 40, you're technically still in profits. But if you told anybody, hey, I got a 40% hit rate, you want to invest with me, they'll be like, what the fuck no.
It's just very limited thinking, and I think I can see what you're saying, but I agree with Ted, and it's like the problem in the mindset is that there is a such thing as a perfect trader. And if I'm being honest with you, like, and everyone has this mentality, like, I don't care who you are, when we all first start, I think I can speak for every trader that is, you know, somewhat successful in trading. And if they want to disagree with me, I'll fight it, and I'll be like, I'll bet. You think you're going to be a fucking perfect trader. Guess what? You're not. You're not fucking special. I'm sorry. You're just not special. No one in this fucking market is special. You're not going to be special. You're not going to be different than everyone else. You're just a fucking trader. And until you learn that, excuse my language, but I just cuss a lot. But until you learn that and truly understand that you're not different. You're not different than the guy that works for the hedge fund. You're not different than the guy that you see on Instagram. No, we all went through that shit, and you're not going to be different. You're not going to be better. I mean, you might be better, but you're not going to be like substantially like, oh, I'm different than everyone else, and I'm going to be profitable in the first year of trading. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't exist. You don't exist. And if you think you do, you're wrong. And so learning how to adapt.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but do you feel like there's a certain amount of time where someone can consider, and obviously there's no such thing as perfect 100%, but do you think that you can get to a point where you do consider yourself that level of trader?
Okay, I'll be honest with you. Like, for me, it took me 4 years to become somewhat profitable. And then for year 5 and 6, I started to do really good. And 7 was my, to the date was my best year. Year 8, I completely shit the bed. It took me a long time. I actually didn't trade for like 6 months. because I was just off. I couldn't fucking do it. And then this past year, this is like the year 9 for me. And this past year was the year that like took me to the next fucking level. But here's the thing. I still look at the markets like differently. I still approach the markets like I'm scared of the markets. I am like, I mean, I know I can make money and I'm happy, and I'll say it. I believe that I'm the best trader in the world. That's just because I'm confident in myself. That's not talking trash about anyone else. It's just, if I don't have that confidence, then why the fuck am I even trading? You know what I mean? I think I'm the best trader in the world, but I'm more scared of the fucking markets than I am anything else.
Agreed. I sit every Sunday and I sit down. I'll be watching whatever on TV, and I'll think to myself, how am I going to make any trades this week? What am I going to do this week?
What the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. No, legitimately. And if you as a trader, if you don't have that pit in your stomach of execution, like you have to execute, and you don't have that sort of that butterfly in your stomach, you're not doing it right.
No, you're not having fun.
Well, and truthfully, I mean, if you have that overconfidence, that's where you start making errors. And people, people always ask me, they're like, how do you maintain emotion and stuff like that? I have emotion, but I also believe in my strategy. I believe in what I'm doing. But trust me, when I execute, I still sit here and I'll swear a blue streak some days, because it's just like, the market doesn't make sense, and you're like, why is it doing that? And you do have those emotions that you do portray, but when it comes down to it, you've done it so many times, you're able to combat that by saying, okay, you know what, today I took a loss. That's not a big deal, because I can look back at the last X months of history. I've done this enough times. Like, I think this year I've done 1,300 trades this year, and I have an 80% win rate. Like, I have stats on all that.
Yeah.
Right. So I've had 6 losing days out of the whole entire year. But it's just, you just deal with it. Right. But it's when you don't have those stats, and you don't have that information and those data points, that's where you go down that road of, I almost say, like that dark hole of trading, because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know if you're doing it right. All you know is today you won, yesterday you broke even, tomorrow you take a loss. You don't know if you're on the right track, and that's what creates emotion, because you're like, am I getting lucky, or am I actually know what I'm doing? And until you start collecting stats and tracking everything and being meticulous, you're still going to be in that lost area, and you're not going to hold your trades as long as you should. You're not going to trust your analysis, and then you're going to come and ask questions, and there are questions you can answer yourself just by doing a little bit more data work.
Yeah, I have days where I look at the charts and like I'll lose like 2 or 3 trades, and I'm like, do I even know what the fuck I'm doing here? Like, do I even know what the fuck I'm doing? And then like I'll come back the next day and I'll fucking do some crazy shit. And like it's just a respect for the market. I just had my largest withdrawal I've ever done. My absolute largest withdrawal I've ever done. I didn't know it was possible. Didn't know it was crazy. Craziest thing I've ever accomplished in my life. But at the end of the day, it's like, I still have a fear for the markets. I still fear the markets right now to this day. And it's just the way, it's just literally the way it is. And if you don't have that, I don't think you're gonna ever be like,
Anthony, can you and Ted talk about that? Like, what is the level of healthy fear, and when does it get to the point where it's a distraction from your trading?
What do you mean? Like that? What do you mean the distraction? What's a healthy level of fear is knowing that the market doesn't give a fuck about who you are, and it doesn't matter how much money you have in an account. The market doesn't give a shit about your little money. Like, that's like, for me, like, I think Ted can agree. I don't care if you have $30 million, $50 million in an account. The market doesn't give a fuck like about your money or your emotions or how you feel. And so for me, it took me a long time to learn that. Like, how many times have you heard a new trader? Well, I think it's going to do this. The market doesn't care what you think. It doesn't react on what you think. Back to the whole, you're not special. Like,
yeah,
it's just, like, it doesn't.
I like those things when people say, "Oh, I think it's a buy now," or "I think it's a sell." It's like, really? That's what you're going to base your money on? Like, because I mean, essentially, when you think about trading, trading is constructive gambling. Any sort of risk is gambling there, because you're not 100% right 100% of the time. So there's an element of gambling, and you're not going to, if you're going to take the approach of, I think it's going up, so I'm now going to place a trade, that does not instill confidence. It's, you have to have that ability to say, okay, this is the reason why it's going up. And this is the reason why I know it's going up at this point. And you have to be able to do that with confidence, because otherwise, like, what's the point?
So that is that like where the fluidity comes from? So it's basically just being able to adapt to the markets, not really forcing your bias too much, but really just being more adaptable.
It's all being adaptable. It's adapting to each current situations. The market is not the same it was 4 years ago. And the reason I can say that is I've traded through 3 different presidential elections. And you can tell the difference in experience in trading for a long time. Like everyone, like that's why like I never did education for a long time and all that stuff. It's because I think the best education is chart time.
100%.
I don't care if you sit here and trade a penny. You should trade live money and trade a penny. I don't care if it takes you 5 years. You can make more money being a doctor than being a doctor. And a doctor takes you 8-9 years. You can make more money than just about any other thing else, but you have to, like, too many people treat this like a get rich thing. And instead of treating it like a get rich, treat it like a college, treat it like it's your fucking job. Like, this is your fucking job, right? This is your job now. Not going to fucking somewhere else and working. This is your job. So why are you, like, if you're at a job, why you wouldn't disobey, right? So why would you disobey yourself? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so treat it like it's a job, put your effort in, put your time in, look at the charts. I have the charts on my phone. If I'm sitting down, to this day, the first thing I do is like, I don't pull up Instagram or Facebook. I pull up the charts and I'll just go through the charts and go through every single pair. People ask me all the time, how can you trade every single pair? I just go through the charts. Like I just can. It's natural to me.
So what do you guys, what's your take on like sticking to one pair? Because I know Ted and Anthony, you guys have a little bit of a different opinion on this. What's the thing about like sticking to a few pairs versus being able to trade all markets?
I don't think there's a difference. I think that some people are just comfortable with that. My personality, I thrive in chaos. If I'm not in 5 or 6 trades at one time, I fucking go insane. That's why I open up 4 or 5 businesses at one time. That's why I'm doing so many things at once, because I am so ADD that, and like, I can't, like, if I have one task, I'll procrastinate that fucking task all day fucking long. But if I'm not, like, if I have like 5-6 things coming at me at one time, it's like I can sit back and be like, okay, this, and this is how we need to plan it out. It's just different personalities. And so for me, I've learned that my personality is that if I have one thing in front of me, I get bored. I get like, I'm like, this is not really fun. I'm not intrigued. I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. But if I have multiple things going on, that's why I have multiple pairs. And that's why I like to trade multiple pairs.
And I think, see, and this is where, like, I'm reading some of the YouTube chat, and this is where, once again, the community is so toxic, is we give advice, and especially myself, I give advice for the 80% factor. Right? Because there's always these people that come up to me and they'll say, well, you're wrong. This is how you should do it. And I always tell people, you're welcome to do and trade the way you feel. I'm trying to provide you a framework that would give you some direction. If you believe that direction is incorrect or you can do it better, be my guest. Like, you're not taking food off my plate. And I think that there's such a big ego in this industry for that. It's like, I have to tell you that I'm better than you, and this is why I'm telling you. Congratulations. Like, you're not impacting my life. And I wish, like, the younger generation would understand that if you find a better way to do something, that's the whole point of evolution. It's the whole point of learning, is there's always going to be someone who's going to be better, who's going to come up through the ranks. And once again, I mean, people hate it. I use the poker analogy. If you look at the online poker players, they got younger and younger and better and better. It didn't mean that the poker players from 3 or 4 years ago were bad. It just means that there was more information for the younger players to absorb faster and react and adapt now. And I think a lot of people forget that. It's like, you're not gonna get Q to be upset about that, or Anthony, or whoever that you worship on social media. They're not going to be upset that you're succeeding. And this is the fallacy I think people have in their head. It's like, what do you want to prove to me? That you do better than me? I'm happy. I want you to do better than me. You should be doing better than me, because I went through the trenches to provide you information, so your learning curve sped up. I'm hoping that you'll get better. And I've learned off of newer traders because of the fact that they've taken information that I provided, scrutinized it, gone through it, and reproduced it in a better fashion. And I've looked at it and said, oh, I missed that. That's great. I'll take that and I'll bring that back to my arsenal. Like, as a
give
student,
me a reason to push myself.
Yeah.
Give me a reason to push myself.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And it's just like, I don't understand the industry. Like, we're all retail traders, and there's always this battle going on. And I sit there and I laugh to myself. I'm like, the institutions are the ones we should be battling. Like, I've said it countless times on many live streams and podcasts. It's like, we should all be grouping together and saying, hey, we figured out a way to destroy the institutions. Let's get our money.
Hey,
not figure it out.
So yeah, Ted, this is completely shameless plug. I know I've done this a few times, guys. If you are attending the FX Summit 2022, please let me know. It's going to be in Miami. Basically, Ted, that's what we're trying to do. It's going to be a gathering of institutional traders and retail traders. And hopefully that dialogue kind of opens it up to the point where you understand the other side. Now, obviously, every side is reluctant. Like, real institutional traders don't want to show up to this thing, but there's executives from some of these companies that have already agreed, like TradingView, Oanda, and FXCM, that are going to show up to this thing. And so if everybody in the social Forex sphere can get behind something, which is like, all right, instead of competing for once on Instagram, like a dick measuring contest, why don't we all show up to one place and basically bring people's YouTube feed to life right in front of them. And then we can all do this in person. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do this.
I've said that from day one. I've said that like years ago. I wanted to do a conference where you had all the top traders coming in and lending expertise. But I mean, once again, social media is toxic. I mean, you have people on here that will never succeed at anything. And it's like, I was talking to Andy Peters the other night, and I was telling him this one day, this guy called me and he wanted my phone number to call me. You know, he got mad at me because I wasn't motivating him enough, because him and his girlfriend were about to be evicted from their apartment, or they couldn't pay rent or something. And I looked, and I was on the phone with him, and he was yelling at me, like screaming. And I said to him, I said, you're telling me that I'm your only motivation. Meanwhile, you're not able to pay rent for you and your girlfriend's apartment. That should be your motivation. I shouldn't have to motivate you to get you to pay rent. And it was just, you know, it's one of those things on social media that people look up to others as like, if you're not going to respond to me, or you're not going to provide me guidance, I'm going to fail in life. And it's such a like weird dynamic. And and Andy and I were laughing about it, because I just said to him, I said, this is what today's youth are thinking.
Come to. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
you owe them something. You owe them something.
It's like, I'm on here doing whatever I'm doing. You don't like what I'm doing, unfollow me. Like, don't waste your time. Like, what did you want me to do? Like, he was legitimately angry. I wish I had recorded the call, because he was in tears, crying on the phone, saying, you're not being the motivation that I need. You're supposed to be helping me. And I'm like,
I think that it all kind of boils down to one thing, which is expectations. I don't think that, like, most people really are just looking for like a way to make some side money. But I feel like the expectations that the market set for them, or like, let's say like most people are like IML dropout. Anthony, you hopping off?
Yeah, I got to hop off, y'all. Much love. See you later, Ted. I'll hit you up. Y'all be safe. Y'all have fun.
No doubt.
Talk to y'all later.
And you guys, just quick side, if you guys are on the live stream, if you make any money today, I want you guys to donate to this link. I think somebody just donated $1,000 to the
whoops.
Someone just donated $1,000. This might be Andy Peters.
No.
So this is freaking awesome. If you guys make any money tonight on the live stream, if you guys make any profits, take some of those profits and, you know, donate them to this cause. Just a quick heads up. So Ted, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I did the donation.
That was you?
Yeah.
Oh my. Yo, guys, can we show some love for Ted? I know you wanted to keep it low key, but
yeah,
Ted, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, of course. It's going to a good cause. I support St. Jude. I think they're really good.
Dude, that is freaking awesome, man. That is freaking top class. Wow, guys. Wow. Dude, Ted, I can't thank you enough. That is a top class move right there.
Yeah. No, it's important. You pay it forward.
Ah, damn. All right, guys. So, I mean, you guys know that we're basically hanging out until pre-London. I'm not really looking to take any more trades until some more liquidity is back in the market. So we're going to watch price play around the London session open. We're going to watch price play around, you know, I've marked off the New York session open, the New York session high. And so we'll see how price plays around. I'm very, very much favoring a retest of the New York session highs. This is the previous session's highs. I'm favoring a retest of that area before we get a nice drop. So that's what we're looking for later during London session. If you guys stick around, or if you guys want to leave and come back, we're definitely going to be live trading later.
NZD CAD
Yeah, there's going to be, I think, nice buys. Yeah, I was just on that. Sorry, that's why I was on mute.
Yeah, I was just, I mean, mine isn't as good as y'all's quality. I mean, since I'm in my Tesla right now, so, but as far as like what I'm looking at on this, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I've been holding on this short for like damn near, well, it's been like a day and a half. I got in at like 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, right? Or it was like 4 in the afternoon, right after the turnover. Been holding on gold. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. You can see the charts on your Tesla.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a computer, a driving computer.
Yeah, Ted, you know all about that, right?
Yeah, you know what? I once again, my age shows up, and it's like I don't use TradingView. I don't use any of that stuff. I mean, it's I still, and I know you guys love it. I still can't comprehend doing the work on that and then going on to MetaTrader afterwards and then executing. Like it's counterintuitive to me. Like, so I mean, I know I get blasted every day for saying that, but it's just that's sort of how I feel. I'm like, I look at TradingView and I'm like, well, like, draw lines here or draw lines on MetaTrader. But yeah.
I'm looking at GJ right now since that's the main pair I trade. Breaking up right now. So maybe most likely like in Asian longs for pre-London shorts. That's what I'm going to be looking for.
Yeah, I was looking for London shorts at 52.5.
Yeah.
So that's that area. And I think stop loss needs to be a little bit bigger. It needs to be above this previous high.
Yeah.
So it'd be about 45 pips of risk. TP1 would honestly be 35. So that's like a negative risk and reward. That one's pretty ugly. But if it does make it back down the range, then I think we got a pretty good trade here. So this is a little bit, this is ambitious. I'm going to be completely honest. This is a very ambitious target, but the entry at least is going to be a pretty good entry. If we manage to get in, secure some partial profits. This is how I trade high reaction zones, especially from scalping. We'll get up here. I'll be able to enter. If there's a smaller time frame rejection, we'll get a push away from that zone. We can take partial profits. Let's say, like strictly hypothetical, 15, 20 pips away from price, move stop loss to break even. If price comes back up, there's a choice to re-enter or just let it go, depending on how price action is. So at those high reaction zones, we can at least get like 15 to 30 pips. Gold, I'll let Stefano do gold. If we're going to trade London, then I'm going to let Stefano do his thing. But for now, we're basically just consolidating between 50 and 62. So it's buy low and sell high until the market structure breaks. Like if you had to ask like my opinion, not that it really matters here, just based off of higher highs and higher lows, gold has some room to the downside. So we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, potential lower high. So that's kind of the trade that I'm looking at is shorts at 64 to the downside. All right. Any questions on gold? Any questions on gold?
So, a question, I do. Okay, so that's like the exact setup that I have right now. I mean, of course, I was charting this up while I was driving, so I haven't really looked at this too much. But right now, I have my entries at 1765. I got in, like I said, I got in earlier yesterday. I've been holding it all the way out, and I was going to close profits whenever it got down to like 1750 area, but now it's looking like it's starting to have a little rejection right here, and it's showing a lot of exhaustion on H4 and on H1. So I was trying to figure out maybe if this is a good resistance zone, like possibly, 1745 area? Is that like the deepest you see that going right there? Because I have the exact same markup as what you have right now. That's what I was looking at for yesterday, for tonight. But
yeah, so I mean, if it drops, like obviously I don't know where the market's going, but we do have those obvious levels. So TP1 would actually be this guy right here, which would be the 47 zone. And then one step lower at 42. And then if it breaks 42 and it starts to like test outside of this range. So if we actually have body of the candlesticks close outside of here, like candles coming down, then we'd go all the way down to 1722. So, I mean, basically it doesn't really matter as long as you have your entries up here. Where the market goes is out of your control. The only thing that you can control is where you enter. So first you have to develop a bias. So since we're bearish because of the lower highs and lower lows, we already know that we're looking for shorts. And then you look for shorts, you're not looking at short at support levels, you're looking at short at resistance zones. And so you basically just wait for the market to curl back up here, take a short position from up here if the candlesticks reject. If there's no candlesticks formation to confirm that trade, don't take it, because then you're going to get caught in this continuation and you're going to be butthurt.
Yeah, no, I'm in it right now. I've been holding. I was trying to figure out if it was time I should possibly be looking to add positions or maybe even close out. I just didn't want to see this. I'm up damn near like 2,700 floating right now, and I don't want to close out. I just was trying to get a little bit different bias from someone else, because I was kind of looking at the same thing.
I mean, look, this is the way I make these decisions. You have to ask yourself a very important question. If this thing reverses on you and takes away all your profits, how mad are you going to be? Versus,
I mean, I would be upset.
Hold on. Versus, because there's two options. Versus, if you closed right now and this thing bleeds to all of hell.
Yeah, I know.
Which one is going to be worse? You have to answer that question. And once you have that answer, that's the decision you make.
I can make 4x my money and I'll be richer faster. And people don't look at the downside. Like I always use the rule of thumb is focus on capital preservation. You know, don't focus on building capital, focus on capital preservation. Every time you go into the market, say how much can I possibly lose here? Am I willing to accept that loss? Like that should be the first thing. Any trader that goes before you execute, even if you have to, I used to have a whole bunch of notes on my desk, like handwritten notes, like don't do this, don't do that. And I would look at them before I executed. It's just because when you're in the heat of the moment, everything's a blur, right? You're sitting there, you're like, trade's going up. Oh, trade's going down. Oh, what do I do? It's like, that's where your emotions start toying with you because you're not properly prepared. If you come in properly prepared and say, okay, the most I'm willing to lose on this trade is X dollars, you're comfortable because you're like, hey, I know I could lose X dollars. I'm happy with that. But that comes from an honesty standpoint. You have to be honest with yourself. And a lot of people in today's world, they're not honest with themselves. They think they're better than they are. They don't want to accept the fact that this might take a little bit longer for them to achieve. And it's the constant comparison model. And I think it's very tough. And, you know, like you said, Alex, it's like people say, well, you know, like I'm my own boss, so I'm just going to do this today. And it's like, well, it's not prudent. Like, you know, let's put it this way. If you have $10,000 in debt or $1,000 in debt, you're not paying it off with trading over a week. You're not.
No.
You're just not. I mean, and I would put money against anybody that can say, I have debt right now. I'm going to pay off all my debt by trading. I'll put any number that you want to put down that you will not be successful trading by trying to pay off your debt, because you'll get to a point where you're getting close and then you'll take chances. You'll be like, oh man, I only have like $100 left to go. Okay, today I see a really good setup. I'm going to stack positions, and then suddenly something happens and now you're deepening yourself with debt. Or you start taking positions that you shouldn't be because you're like, man, my bill payments due at the end of the month.
Yeah. So basically, like, you're almost going to start like chasing trades because you're like, oh, I have something, you know, something to pay, so I have to catch a trade. And I feel like that right there is like crucial. Earlier today, I saw a video. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it all over like Instagram. And this is like literally what changed my trading. And like, I'm talking about a whole 180 turn. It's a little like quote by Warren Buffett. And I said, if everybody, whenever they started trading, they got a punch card. And within that punch card, you got 20 punches. And those are all the trades you get to take your whole entire life, right? You're going to think very, very well before you take every single trade if you only have 20 punches. I guarantee you're not going to take a trade every single day to complete those 20 punches. If you take your time by choosing those 20 trades you have your whole entire life, you're going to take those trades that have that great probability setup. And then once I realized that you know, you don't need to take 100 trades. You don't even need to trade. Like, I remember when I had one of my bigger months at the beginning of the year, I literally told myself, I'm like, I have the next 8 months of my bills paid. I can absolutely do nothing for the rest of, like, you know, the next 8 months coming ahead, and I'm cleared. So that puts you in a perspective and in a mindset where it's just like, I'm only going to take a trade if it's worth risking those 2 weeks that I already have paid for, or risking, you know, that free time that I already have. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's like the Squid Game of trading.
Yeah. So can I ask you, I also want to play devil's advocate here. So for somebody who hasn't reached the point where they've made enough for 8 months, so they can actually like take their foot off the pedal with trading, how would you recommend they set targets for what they should be taking out of the market? Because, you know, one of the things I say is, like, if you're really trying to be actionable about trading, really take a bill that you would pay on an average month and see if you can hit that first, like a phone bill, right? So your phone bill, 60, $75, and see if you can hit that. And then next month, see if you can go for something else. Do you guys think that those are unrealistic targets, or what do you?
No, I think that's huge realistic. I also say too is treat this like a job. Like, do like every time that like have a logbook of every time that you do something related to trading and mark down that time that you did it. Because I think if people actually did this, and I always get criticized again for this theory, is if you treated trading like a 9 to 5, where for every 10 minutes you put into the market or every hour you put into the market, you mark that down like it said, hey, I just worked, like right now as an example, I just worked, you know, I've been talking to you guys for a couple hours. So I've basically done 3 hours of FX work. That impacts my hourly rate because I'm not doing anything right now other than focused on FX. I have to take that into account with my trades. And there's such a counterintuitive approach because people get angry at that. They say, well, trading's about freedom. That doesn't make any sense. Of course it does, because if I know my hourly rate is $1,500 or $2,000 an hour, and I just spent the whole weekend working on charts, my hourly rate's gone down to $500, $400, but it also helps you when you actually start trading and you execute. When suddenly you make $1,000 or you make 8 months of, you know, like your living expenses, exactly what Alex said. He knows he doesn't have to work anymore because he put in all that work to cover himself for the next 8 months. Why would he jeopardize his ability now to have that full freedom? But people aren't looking at it that way, right? They're looking at it the opposite way of like, well, I need more money. It's like, no, because when you risk more, you also could possibly lose more. Now you've basically turned around and, you know, as an example, you've worked all weekend, you've done 10 hours of chart work and you've just made $100 or $1,000. If you did $1,000 in a day, you just made $100 an hour for the 10 hours that you put in prior to that. You have to count that. If you're not focused and counting the work that you're putting in, you're basically working for a minimum wage. You're working for nothing. You're working for pennies. I think it's just tough because a lot of people are in between the ages of say 18 and 25 or 28 or 29 as an example. And they feel as though life is passing them by, right? Like I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis that are like 23, 24 years old or just out of school. And they're like, I got to be successful at trading.
Right.
And it's like, who says you have to be successful at trading? But more importantly, who said you have to trade full time? Like that's another fallacy. It's like there's a lot of people that are trying to trade full time. That why kill yourself? Go do a job you love. Have trading as a supplemental income. You'll love going to work because you know what? It pulls you away from the charts. You want to take a vacation? Take 2 weeks off of work. Call in sick. You don't need the money really, but it gives you stability. It gives you a paycheck when you have a bad trading day. Like it's such a fallacy that it's like this is the only thing that you can do, and that determines your success. And I mean, I understand, like, you know, there's always people that say, hey, if you don't have a safety net, you'll go balls to the wall. But it's like, do you have to put yourself through that stress? Like I was working when I traded. I mean, I quit work after I had enough money for myself. Like I still remember, like we talked about that, Roy. I remember the one day I went into work, I had made like 16K in the morning. Yeah. I was only making. That's
the fuck you money. That's the fuck.
Yeah,
you.
That's
the boss says
but I was only making 4K a month in my job. Like I was only I made 4x my money in one morning, but I was still worried that I could lose it. Right. But it allowed me to.
I feel like something that really does mess up a lot of people is also like the whole social media.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I remember when I was like coming up, when I was doing like, you know, obviously it's turned now into like, at least for my part, like the whole social media, super unexpected, by the way. But like, I feel like the whole social media, it's just like people literally see like 10 seconds on an Instagram story or 50 seconds on an IGTV, and it's like, guys, like, what about the whole other 24 hours? Like I've made some YouTube videos and I've edited them personally myself, and I've had 2-3 hours of content, and it literally goes down to 10-15 minutes. People see the 10-15 minutes, they see, you know, great stuff or whatever, and then they don't realize all of that work, not even all of the work, just all of the time that was put in, and then all of the work behind it. So people just think that short is like that short span of time that they see, that they think that that's like the reality and how it really is. And honestly, that is not how it is at all. Like I remember seeing that, and you have to like almost block that out. I remember I didn't have social media when I was like coming up on trading, I literally created an Instagram where I only followed crypto news or just forex news, and that's it. But no lifestyle, none of that stuff, because it just messed with my trading. I would be seeing people make a couple $1,000s a day, and I'm catching the same exact trades, but I'm making a couple $100, and I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? You get me? I'm not doing nothing wrong. It's just obviously my account sizes were different at the time, but it's just like that right there, distraction. It makes you like second doubt yourself for no reason.
Yeah, I always
Real quick.
I always found go ahead, Roy.
Sorry, Ted, I kind of wanted to like get Alex to kind of press on that, because Alex and Jason both walked away from a job to be full-time traders. And so I kind of want to contrast that and explain how difficult that journey was, and whether, like, I just feel like it's important for folks to know, like, okay, so you're saying that, you know, you don't really have to quit your job. Some folks do dive off the deep end. I kind of want to hear that side of the story to say, you know, how is it quitting that job and being full-time?
You want to go first, James, or you want me to hit it first?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say my part real quick, just because I think it's important. I love that it got brought up, because when people put the pressure on themselves to solely rely on their profits, then you're taking a game that's already based off EQ, and you're making it that much. It's like Ted said, Squid Games. Now you're making the game that's already extremely difficult that much harder, because it's all based off your emotion. It's all based off how you're feeling and where you're at mentally. So even when people become full-time traders, I still think it's a great idea for them to have multiple streams of income. However they decide to do it, that's on them. You know, if they decide to get into real estate, do that. It's the whole key is just having multiple streams, because we all have multiple streams of outcome. And even biblically, it talks about have 7 different streams, because you never know what disaster may come upon the land. Now, what's the land? The land is our bank account, or wherever you primarily have your resource. So if disaster comes upon that and you don't have other reservoirs or places to go get money, then you're always going to find yourself in a situation or worrisome. I can guarantee you that at this point, Ted could stop trading and would be just fine. But that's because he's set those things up. He has those resources in multiple places. So that's the beauty of it, is just always thinking about the next move. Like, temporarily, you'll have to give up that frustration and live with that, and just realize, all right, this current situation is not my final destination. It's all working up to that progression, that vision of where it is that we want to go.
Well said.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. I mean, in my case, it was like different. I mean, Jason, I don't know your full story, man, but I remember I was working at Dunkin', the whole Dunkin' story, and then I was working at Dunkin' and at the fair, right? So I was in the mornings I was opening at Dunkin'. And then I was working nights at the fair, basically riding bikes, basically people to the car and back. You know, I was the taxi guy, right? It made good money, and I made a good amount of money with that. And I did it about 2 years, I want to say. And at the same time, I kind of had a business with one of my buddies, which was property management, almost like a rental arbitrage. I would basically sublease properties, and I would Airbnb them. But I was like almost like the investor for my friend, and then he was the one that was working it. He was basically making sure the units were clean, the tenants came. He was doing all of that. I just put up the money and my name to do the actual sublease. And then, that kind of, our partnership fell apart. We, parted ways. He cashed me out. And then that's when I started having my bigger days. And that's when I realized, I had X amount in my bank account. And then I realized that my bills were X amount. And I'm like, damn, I really have, at that time, it was almost a year. This is, I want to say, about like 3 years ago. About 2 years ago, where I really started seeing the change. I had, the big days, at the time, they were big days for me, that started adding up. And I'm like, wow, I really have almost a full year of my expenses paid. I can, like I said earlier, I can do absolutely nothing. And then what that does, it just makes you get on the charts and only take trades that make sense, because it forces you, like how Ted said, to put into perspective, like, is it worth risking those days that I already have paid for in the next coming up month, or whatever the case is. And as slowly that started growing on me, it really did shift. But something where I really like kind of got me even more, I remember when I shifted into that mindset, I was literally taking no trades. I almost felt like useless, because I wouldn't take a trade for a week. And then there was 2-3 days where I took trades and I made $6, $7, $8, $9,000. And I'm like, damn, like this is almost not fair. I had to call up one of my mentors that, you know, at the time, he's not like on social media, that I was very fortunate to come across him. I told him, and I'm like, bro, like, I don't even think this shit's fair. Like, I'm not doing nothing for a week, literally nothing. And then I take a trade 1 or 2 days, and then I make money, and that's it. I don't do anything else for another week. And he's like, bro, you fucking made it. You know, nobody's gonna come to you and give you like a certificate and be like, oh, you're now a successful trader. Like, that's not gonna happen. He's like, you've entered that mindset where you're now only taking trades that are worth it. So he put me the analogy. He's like, let's say that basically you work at McDonald's, right? And your job at McDonald's is to work at the drive-thru. When the drive-thru is booming, you know, let's say you're getting paid $10 an hour, just, you know, to put round numbers. And the drive-thru is booming, you feel good because, you know, you're getting worth what you're getting paid. Yeah, you know, you're handing out fucking McChickens or whatever you're doing. Like, you're getting what you're working for, what you're getting paid. But when the drive-thru is empty, what are you going to do? You're going to tell your manager, oh, don't pay me because I'm not working. No, your job is to take orders whenever there's people in the drive-thru. Same thing when it comes to trading. My job is to only take trades that make sense and that are worth the risk. And when he explained that to me and I accepted that, I was like, wow, that really right there was what just like shifted for me. I'm like, I just need to accept my role, and I only take trades when they meet all of my confluences, when I have minimum 3 time frames in sync, when I have structure, EMA, like all of these things, like that's it. So once you accept your role as a trader, it just everything makes sense. Like, if I enter a losing streak, this is part of my role. So same way if you work at a drive-thru McDonald's, if you know you enter a morning where the mornings are booming, where there's cars there for an hour, everybody wants to get their morning, you know, bro, everybody at Dunkin' Donuts gets their fucking coffee and their morning donut, like everybody. So like that was my role. My role at that time was to give people their coffee and the donuts so they could go have breakfast. Now my role as a trader is to just take trades that are worth my money. And then when I had that shift, it definitely was just uphill from there, honestly.
Yeah, bro. Even one thing you said about people getting caught up on social media. I don't know if you've heard the quote. I'm pretty sure Teddy Roosevelt said it, but he said, comparison is the thief of joy. And I think oftentimes people will see, you know, and it's not just in trading, bro. It's in life in general. You know, people will see something, they'll compare it to where they're at or, you know, in their life, and immediately feel like it's not enough, you know? So like, even for me, bro, like me, I worked at Target. I was stocking shelves 2 a.m., 10 a.m., didn't have a car, didn't have more than $2,000. So for me to finally get my first car being a 2020 Audi TTRS, bro, I went from walking everywhere for 4 years to having a nice TTRS. Now it's not an RA, it's not a damn it's not
I got an RA, I got an RA.
No, that's my point, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a Lambo, it's not a McLaren, you know. There's still bigger goals that I have as far as like what I want to get to, but I have things that I'd rather do. Like, I'd rather retire my mom and let her basically know, like, you're good, everything's covered for the next however long, you know, for life. So dope, certain things like that. But my point is like, if I look at what I have and compare it to what someone else has, then you're doing your own journey disjustice. Like, you're writing the book and you're looking at pages in someone else's book and now saying, well, how come my page 32 isn't as lit as his page 71? Yeah. And people just really need to focus on writing their book and understanding that this shit is not supposed to look the same. Like, you got to enjoy every single step, because the worst thing I see people do is go from stressing to blessing back to stressing. Now, what I mean by that is they'll stress over not being at $10,000 a month. They'll get to $10,000 a month and immediately be stressing over not having $25,000 a month. Because as you start to make more, you start to spend more. So if you don't always know how much your overhead is, every single person on this call is a business. You have to know what your overhead is. You have to know how much you cost every single month. So that way, as you start to bring it in more, you don't just go to different levels of broke as well.
That's dope there, bro.
Listen, why are you spazzing, bro?
My fault, man. It must be something I rolled up, man.
It's the weed he's smoking, bro. Fuck.
Dude, let me get some of that. God damn. All right, guys, special announcement. Andy Peter is actually in the waiting room. About to let him in. I think he was supposed to show up during London, but just help me welcome Andy real quick. This was like partly his idea. This was supposed to be a 12-hour stream. basically he said if we go on for 24 hours, he'll donate $1,000 to the charity that we're doing this for. And so that's why we decided to turn this into a 24-hour stream. Andy, welcome back to the live stream, brother.
Yes, I will. 2 o'clock a.m. I will be live, ready for the London session.
All right. Well, we'll be right here.
Yeah. yo, Roy, have you moved? Have you eaten? Like, have you like gotten up, bro?
Yeah. I went, got food, showered, did everything. Like, dude, at the New York market close, I was like, dude, I'm not gonna sit here and like watch grass grow from the market closure to Tokyo overlap. So I'm like, dude, that whole like 2.5 hours, I was like eating, showering, doing whatever. Like, I'm getting money. Don't worry.
Nah, bro. I don't know. You know, you're hungry out here. You're starving.
Nah, I'm ready to go, man. I got a motor, bro.
No, but yeah, definitely, Jason. Those were some nice words, man. And so Ted, I don't know if Ted's on anymore, but Ted was throwing on some awesome words there, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, he just slid. He had to go to dinner or something.
You want me to break down a chart, man? A chart that I'm looking at?
Yeah, fuck yeah, why not? This is like, it's awesome having all of these mature voices. I'm just gonna throw that out there, like Alex, Jason, Ted, Andy. Like having you guys all in the same place is fucking phenomenal. The level of this conversation, I can't even imagine what the people at home are going through, but this kind of feels like surreal. You know, you guys are dropping so many nuggets. So really
I was sitting here talking to my wife because we're actually heading to the yacht right now, just to have a cigar and hang out for a bit. But I was like, man, it'd be sick if we literally had like the whole, I'm talking Anthony, Q, Drew, Jason, Ted, like everyone all on at one time. I think that would be the only time that everyone has ever been on a Zoom before.
Yeah, I mean, even this morning, like even this group right here, I don't know, Alex, Andy, Jason, like when Ted was on here, I don't know if you guys have been on a Zoom together either. This already is surreal. I've been talking to.
I've never been on a Zoom with them either. I follow them on social media.
By the way, Andy, I want to say thank you. You hopped on Anthony's live, told him to pull up. He ended up pulling up, dropping gems. He was only supposed to stay for like 15 minutes. Dude gave us like an hour and 15 spitting real heat. So I really appreciate you putting that word in.
Dude, that is awesome, dude.
That was really awesome.
This is the first time I've ever seen something like this. So shout out to you or for lighting something like this up, bro. Honestly.
God, I'm gonna keep saying it. Shameless plug. FX Summit.
I already told you, bro. I already told you. You got my spot there, man. I'm already out there. You already got my spot.
I'm telling you guys right now, there's a place where I live, Chattanooga, Tennessee. We've got a thing called the McKenzie Arena. It'll seat 4,500 people. I can get the place for like $12,000 a day. And I told Q and Anthony and all of them, we need to actually do a Forex, like that, just put a Forex summit, an open table discussion, talk about people's journeys, where they want to go, maybe throw up some gems, and sell out a 4,500 person arena. You know how sick that'd be for Forex?
FX Summit 2022, God damn it. And so the reason, Andy, we were going to do it in a few places. We were thinking about Vegas. We were thinking about Cali. But I realized that there's so many traders in Miami. And then like that community there alone could make this event worthwhile. And Miami would just be a great place to vacation. So like, even if you showed up to the summit, after the summit, there's still so much to do. Here's the website if you guys want to check it out. But Andy, I want you to be on stage at the summit because we're having a panel discussion for the expert traders. And you are an expert trader. So.
Dude, I appreciate that. Yeah, dude, I'd love it because that's, I just think the more information we put out and the more we come together, I mean, obviously, we have our own times of where we argue and give each other, hell here and there. And it's fun. That's what we do. That's what people do when they're making money and we're having fun doing it. But at the end of the day, all of our goals are the same. And that's to make money, have fun while doing it, and do it with cool people, So it's like if we can preach it and we can show people our secrets and what we've done. And I mean, you know what type of world we would live in where if all of your friends and family were financially stable and doing things that they loved.
I mean, Ted was just talking about this. Like the market doesn't care about if you have a 50 million account or 100 million account, there really shouldn't be any competition in a game that really is this limitless. Right. And so I feel like there's nothing to lose besides just ego by doing something like this. And dude, if this is lit digitally, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in person. That's all I'm going to say.
Here's the thing. The only place where you get that is no one is, like you said, there's enough money in the market for everyone. And it's like me. Am I a badass Forex trader with an 8 non-figure, account. I'm not, and I'll admit that I'm not that guy.
That first part is correct, though. You are a badass. You are a badass trader.
Thank you. But I will say this: now, when it comes to crypto, we're talking on a different story there. The crypto, I can show some pretty stupid wallets. That's, really dumb. But I've been doing that for years. So it's a whole different space. But the flex, I think, where it comes into issue, where people, get a little on a sensitive side, is when it comes to cars. When it comes to houses, when it comes to the jewelry, who's wearing the best, who's driving the best. And I think it's fun because it motivates people to get to, that other level, and it pushes us all to do something different. But dude, at the end of the day, if we're all making money and we're having fun, then I have no beef with no one. Well, guys, I hate to get off here. I don't know if y'all can see my screen, but I'm about to jump on the yacht.
Oh, living the life.
Can't blame you. Enjoy your night, brother.
Live it up.
I'm getting on here. Goodness. I'll be back at around 2 a.m. Man, everybody on here, I appreciate you all. Y'all are all legends in my eyes. I've been following y'all forever, and it's a privilege to even be on a call, with you guys right now like this. So I can't wait to do more. I'll make the summit happen. So I will be at the summit. You can mark it down. I'll be there. Drinks on me. We're going to party, and I'll see y'all at 2 a.m.
All right, take it easy, Andy.
All right, good job. Hi to the missus. Enjoy your night, brother. We'll see you at 2.
Thank you, brother. We'll see you in a bit.
Alex, walk us through what we're looking at here. I know you've been sitting on this AUD chart. Let me know what you're seeing here, brother.
No. Whenever Andy, Jason talking, I'm just listening, bro. But I'm just listening. So all right, let me just break down kind of what I'm looking at for AU, right, for this upcoming week. All right, this little notes. Let's start off on the monthly time frame. You guys can see my screen perfectly fine, right?
Let's go. We ready to go?
All right, cool. So you can see here, right, that AUD/USD at one point we were bearish. We were creating lows, highs. Then we obviously had a clean higher high, breaking above previous lower high structure, retested previous structure level. Now we have a higher high. Now we're having a higher low. So now we're confirmed that the monthly is bullish, right? So that within itself is confidence, right? So you go out to the weekly. The weekly was bearish, was creating low, high, low, high, low, higher high. Now we're having a weekly higher low. So now that we have monthly, weekly are bullish. So now we have 2 time frames in sync. And notice how we're having the weekly rejection from where? From previous structure right here. It's a very clean structure level right here. And I'm sure if we look left, it is also a clean rejection level. Not so clean around here, but to the previous structure level right here. So now we got weekly bullish rejection. So that's a confirmation within itself. And then the weekly has already created that weekly wick. Notice how it's this might be a little bit tricky, but notice how it's lower low, lower low, lower low, higher low. You kind of see those wicks: lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low. So that within itself, just looking at those wicks, is a nice reversal confirmation on the weekly. So we got monthly, weekly bullish. Same thing going now down to the daily time frame. The daily was creating at one point low, lower high, lower low. Now we're obviously bullish on the daily. So now we have daily higher high. So now you got 3 time frames in sync. And you can also see right here, very clean left head and then right shoulder right here. This is perfectly wicked in a right shoulder. So now we've closed above the neckline. So now we're running into not only this support level here, resistance level here, support level here, resistance level here, but we're also running into that daily EMA. So that right there can kind of give us that catalyst to come retest down the neckline of the daily head and shoulders. And then as well, you go down to the 4 hour, you see it a little bit cleaner. So here as well, you see how the 4 hour is bullish. You see how the 4 hour was bearish, creating low, high, low, higher high, higher low, higher high now. So we're anticipating the higher low. So at this level right now, this little box, I do expect a retracement to this level to then buy. Why a retracement at this level? Not only because of the daily EMA, but because of this resistance, support, resistance, support, support. So by the time this does retrace to this level, hopefully this EMA will then catch up. It'll use it as support and then it'll go long. So then there we have monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour are bullish. And then you could kind of just go ahead, fib it from point A to point B. My fib is a little bit different. Actually, it's not different. I just kind of clean it up. Like if I know if I know we're not going to make it to the, I don't have the 100 up because I just find no point of having it up. I know where the 100 is because I know where I place my fib from. So I only have levels where I'm interested in it pulling back. So you see, so probably around the 38.2. and then maybe we'll kind of have a wick into that level. So we'll probably have price come into this level, trickle in, and then when it trickles in, then we'll get that little wick, tap the EMA, tap the 38.2, and then that within itself will be a very, very clean trade. So there you got weekly, monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour in sync. And then you'll kind of just wait for either like a 2-hour or 1-hour double bottom. And notice how this EMA as well is looking very clean here. But this is a very clean trade. I mean, we do have NFP tomorrow. So this will probably be a trade maybe for next week. I don't know. But just this move right here looks very, very clean. This is definitely one of my top trades that I'm interested for the rest of the week. So that's that. I don't know what you guys think.
I love that, bro. What you do with your fibs, how you only show the necessary levels, because quite honestly, like 23.6, you would already basically know what a continuation zone is. And then 38.2, you'll just leave that there. You could leave 61.8. But yeah, no, that's tough, bro. Like, I don't know why I didn't think to, like, there's no point of having every single level up there. It just, because then it just cloudies the water, right? It's like, so that's just clean. I love that.
It just clogs. And yeah, fuck the zero. I don't need the zero because I know where it's at. You get me? I know where the zero.
Yeah, that's what I like about this. It makes it look so clean.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it's not that I'm not interested at the 61 or the 50, but I just feel like the 38 is the one where it makes the most sense, and especially at the daily. You see, like, I just really do believe it. I do believe we're going to pull back, one, because of this strong level right here. You guys saw it on the 4-hour, and this daily EMA. The CMA is very well respected. You see here, when we're bullish, it's supported here. When we're bearish, we go under. This is the 50 EMA, just in case people are asking. Let me just 50 EMA. But yeah, this trade right here is looking very, very clean. And then I'll be targeting weekly highs. So this structure level right here. That's it. And you got all the time frames in sync. So this is a very easy trade. I'm a swing trader, so I don't mind holding this trade to here at all. I don't mind 5% if it takes, I don't know, 5-6 days. I'm not opposed to it. Let's say every single day is the size of this candle right here. So let's say we get the next following day here. So this is 1 day. This will be right here. Let me just take this out. This will be 2 days. Yeah, like about 3-4 days to get to your take profit. So yeah, definitely, this is definitely a trade I'll be. See, look at it. Damn, what the fuck? Look at it right here. My bad. I didn't even see this shit. So notice the same resistance level. When we broke above, you got the same exact 3 daily candlesticks right there hitting your take profit. So
yeah, I kind of like that. I kind of like that push down, because if you look left, that's where the wick is. Like, if there was an imaginary zone there, that would be the perfect entry zone. Let's see if I can draw here. This right here. Because you have massive liquidity push. This is where the market first started pushing right there. And then the market turned to resistance. And so a retest right here as support, that would be ideal.
It's not even that, bro. You got retest of neckline of head and shoulders, and you got the retest of 4-hour resistance. Like, this area here is just juicy, bro.
Damn.
So really
how long would you wait for? How long do you usually wait for these moves to develop, like to actually get to the entry? And how long would you expect to hold? I know you kind of went through how long you'd expect to hold, but what about waiting for the trade to play out?
Honestly, I would want it to come into this level. Once it gets to this level, I need some sort of, like, I love this type of shit right here. I love this accumulation. I love this. I don't like this, like, tap and go. You get me? Because it's like, damn, was that real? Again, like, I trade very, very, like, I don't like this right here. This right here to me isn't something that I like. I like more of like this. I want it to stop there. See, this is the 4-hour time frame. So this stopped right here, 4, 8, 12 hours. You get me? I like that. It's like, damn, like, that's just not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I don't like that one tap. See, I love this right here. I love the comeback coming in. I just love all of that. So I would personally, that's why I'm saying I would want it to be more of like a trade for Monday or Tuesday of next week, because if it comes down, maybe NFP will kind of bring it down, create that wick, then it'll consolidate after the news of the NFP, and then you obviously got, you know, Saturday, Sunday, come Sunday, and then Monday has that daily wick, and then Monday it goes. So all that I just said right there you got your 12, 18 hours that it just did nothing, and that's that accumulation that I'm talking about.
So hey Alex, so you sort of wait for consolidation to actually execute your trade, or what if NFP actually pushes prices up, and then would you consider entering the trade, or
no, if NFP, like I am only interested in taking this buy here. That's it. If NFP does this, I'm not chasing it because the trade doesn't make any sense to me. What are your confluence to take the trade if just NFP starts doing this? I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take the trade if it comes into this level, because then that's where the trade makes sense. You get me? This is where it has, like, you know how many things are pushing this trade up at this level right here. When it comes back into this level, it gives you my entry signals. You have so many things pushing this trade up at this level, not from here. From here, there's nothing push. You're literally jumping at a roof. You're at resistance. You can't buy at resistance. So to answer your question, if NFP just does this, all right, cool, I'll move on to the next. That's why I have so many markets. It just wasn't my trade.
Right.
Yeah, I'm starting to find that common theme. It's like if you are swing trading or if you're higher time frame trading, having multiple pairs really isn't an issue. But if you're doing something like finding an intraday strategy, then sticking to one pair probably works, just because you have to understand like the nuances of how it moves intraday. So I think this is really cool. You said like if the market just doesn't do what you want, then you have other pairs to look at. I think that's a really good methodology, because then you just don't end up forcing pairs on a trade.
You got a real goat in the color.
What's good? What's good?
He's just mad because I beat him at a pool. So oh, and I beat Roy too.
Yo, bro, leave me out of this. Leave me out of this.
I'm working on it.
Nah, I'm just talking shit, guys. What's up, man?
Yo, but Q, I appreciate you hopping on, brother. We're breaking the world record for the longest live stream on YouTube for trading, and it's all basically for charity. We're doing it for St. Jude's. And so appreciate you hopping on, showing some love. Everybody show Q some love in the chats. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please show some love in the YouTube comments.
Give this man his roses.
Yo, what's good?
Bro, all of them.
It's QB Stu in the building again. What?
Hey, gotta make sure Q gets his fucking roses, man. Real shit.
Yo, everybody take out your notepads. Your boy Jason rolling up again. The real gems are coming.
I got it right
here.
Take
your fucking notepads out. Jason's about to roll up. Shit's hitting the fan, all right?
Bro, once Q gets off the phone, I'm not gonna be saying shit, bro. I'm not. Bro, I'm a sponge. I'm a sponge, bro. It's funny because like I've been hopping on and off this webinar all throughout the day, because people don't realize that majority of the people that have been on this call, it costs bags to really be able to sit down and learn from them, sit down and get lessons from them. Like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to have 20, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour with these people.
Preach.
So the fact that they're pulling up, giving out game, like, come on. I'll never let my success get in the way of me having more success. So like this man Q really needs his roses, because he's a sensei to many, bro, myself included.
Appreciate it.
Man showed us that it's all possible.
Only way, man, you know?
So Q, talk to us, since we got you on here, do you want to run down, or you want to run through what Top Tier Trader is? Do you want to go through any updates, or is it kind of like hush hush right now?
Yeah. I'm not gonna really do too much, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I'll definitely explain what Top Tier is. So like Top Tier is an upcoming proprietary firm for me and Anthony, and pretty much it's just like, I feel like the way how that even formed, I feel like it was formed off of negativity that I turned into positivity in many ways, you know what I'm saying? So
I remember.
So it's always funny how like, so, you know, some people can actually try to tear down a person's empire, but then the person that has the empire can take that and just build a whole freaking thing out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny, you know, but yeah, so like we're just trying to actually bring something a little bit different to the actual prop firm community to actually get people funded that actually, you know, deserve to get funded. So there's 2 tiers that we actually run through for the evaluation process and that kind of stuff. And from there, we have accounts from 25,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, and we're working on a $500,000 account to get funded. So that's some cool things. Our splits is pretty much 80-20, but we're pushing for 90-10.
Oof.
And we run 1-to-100 leverage. We have a risk profile of, you can't lose more than 5% of the starting day balance and no more than 10% drawdown for the initial balance. Minimum 7 trading days. It's just dope. You know what I'm saying? But
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's super dope. We have a beta group like right now that's running, and some people are already starting to get funded for that program. So which is pretty cool. So like it's cool seeing this kind of like start from the ground up and have people actually get capital in their hands to show what they got. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we come across a lot of people that have the skill to trade and that kind of stuff, but they just don't have the funds. So creating a program that pretty much puts people in a position to even change their life to the best way possible and everything, it's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, speaking of, it's really dope what you're doing. And like, you definitely caught my attention. You said 80-20, 90-10. You definitely caught my attention. Do you want to talk about the torch a little bit? Because that's another thing that you were doing originally that was like the basis of this idea.
Correct. So like the torch was a program that I was doing where I actually put up my own money. All right. So the history of the torch was, I think I started like last year. Like last year. Was it last year?
Nah, bro, you started it 2 years ago.
A couple years ago, right? Okay, so it started a couple years ago. I was putting up my own money for, I think it was 5,000. They weren't able to lose more than 2,500 out of the entire account. And then they would have to grow the account to, I think, as much as possible for the first like 2 weeks. We had about maybe like 7 contestants, only like about 2 people passed. It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of made it kind of like a reality show in a sense. Like people would have to do interviews for when they start the torch, after the torch and everything else. And from there, it kind of just came on to the one that I did recently, which is the torch reloaded. And this one I did with 5K again also. And I said that when I hit 300,000 followers, I'm going to be doing 2 $15,000 accounts to people that qualify to actually take the torch. So like whoever qualifies, it was going to be a 15K account, and then they'll have to grow that account to a certain amount, and then they'll get the profits. And and then once it actually, if you exceed the cap for what the profit amount is, then it's going to be a split. But at the same time, if they actually hit the cap amount, then they'll get paid out. So it's not like I was actually making anything from it. I was actually losing money.
Like they'll take the whole account. Like if they hit the 20K, they get the whole 20K.
Yeah. So all right. So like if they make from 5K to 20K, then they get paid out 15K.
They get the whole 15, no split.
No split. Because I didn't really care for it, bro. Like at the time, like I was making like probably like 10K a day or 15K a day, like easily. So like it wasn't really like I was stressing about the money. So I was just doing it to just help the community itself, so like they could actually get some funds in their pocket.
Dude, that is fucking awesome. Yeah. Like imagine you just put up 5K of your own money to literally make nothing back other than to give somebody else an opportunity. I don't know how much better it gets than that.
Yeah, like people gotta realize, like, I mean, I don't really care to like, add on streams of income nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Like I make enough on the charts as it is, talking to nobody, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really look for much like when it comes to people wanting to do business with me, because I do business by myself and I make money, you know what I'm saying? So whenever I try to actually do certain things for the community and then for the niche is literally just to help everybody else out, because shit, like I don't need it. I don't need anything. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like
even you being here,
I'm good.
Like even you being here is a sign of that, like really giving back. And I think that's really dope.
Yeah, because I was in the backyard smoking a spliff, chilling, just enjoying my night. And then all of a sudden I seen the freaking message. So I was like, let me just get on for a little bit and everything, show some love and that kind of shit. And then,
Q, I appreciate you, man. You're a real one.
Appreciate
like,
it.
You're really a real one.
Bro, even though like you weren't making a lot of money off the initial torches, it was brilliant marketing in the sense of like real traders all wanted to showcase their skill set to you for that opportunity. Just to keep it a stack, bro, like every time you posted some type of opportunity, I was living at my parents' house, bro. I had no bread. I was So like you posted some art, then you posted about the torch. And every time you posted an opportunity, I would do whatever I had to try to do to stand out. And even me being able to go to your 5-day course was a byproduct of you had everyone doing 3K demo to show off their skill set.
That's what it was. Yeah. So they would have to build a demo 3K, and whoever had the most impressive for what I was looking for, that's the ones that actually got the torch.
You had a leaderboard. You were putting it's just, bro, like, it's once again, the average person, they're just like, oh, I hope I get the torch. I'm sitting here taking notes, bro. I'm sitting here and not just looking at your trading ability, but also your ability to get creative with involving a lot of people and having them tag you to showcase. And I had did the 5K live because I wanted to do half of what you wanted to see and live. And I took it to like 15K, but I was tagging you through the whole build. So like all these little things, when I made the 2K cover and had you as MJ, like all the little things periodically I've done just to make sure, because my goal is always just this, super simple. I want to make sure they remember me. That's it.
Listen, I tell everyone, like, if you want to make a name in the niche, or if you want to have a name in the niche, you have to give more than what you're taking back. You know what I'm saying? Like
amen to that, brother. Amen.
I gave out so much free content. I gave out so much free money. Like, I gave out so much free this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put multiple Confluence videos that, you know, is like my pride and joy on YouTube for everybody else to benefit from. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that, it puts my name out there to kind of like show people like, yo, listen, like, yes, like a good amount of my knowledge costs, but at the same time, I'll tell you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you like a little bit of like what I know and everything, but at the same time, like, you know, it's still cost, but at the same time, like, knowing my value, like, I'm still going to give you something to kind of like show you like, yo, listen, like, you can learn something even from the most smallest things that I put out there for free. You know what I'm saying? And doing that over the past 6-7 years and giving value to other groups, other people, like, that's what makes a person stand out in the niche. Like, if you're willing to do that, then you're going to get noticed. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, and making profits and getting better at your own craft as well, you're going to get noticed. You know, like, that's how it works.
And I just want to say this. I wouldn't even be trading if it wasn't for Q.
Appreciate that, man. Listen.
Yo, like, I mean, I was literally just searching on Instagram one day about Forex. And I tell that to everyone. I was like, I was just searching Forex traders. And one day Q's story pops up. And I'm like, oh, man, this guy looks like he's doing pretty good. I'm going to check him out. And then people are like, oh, man, no, Forex are scammers. They're this. And I'm like, this guy can't be a scammer. He's showing his trades. He's showing his live charts. So I just started following Q. And that led me into Anthony. And that led me into trading. And now look at it. So,
what made you even believe that I was real though? Like, why did you think I was fake?
And I tell this to everyone. You showed your entire journey. You cannot fake from going from driving a Volkswagen to driving your BMW to driving your Porsche to driving your Ferraris and Lambos when you show it to the world right there in front of you. And when people are like, oh, but it's fake, it's rented, it's leased. It costs more money to lease.
Oh, yo, look.
It costs more money to lease.
Let's see what he's about to do.
Yo, look at this.
Titles.
No. People be fucking idiots sometimes. Look, I got titles, baby. Titles on titles on titles on titles on titles. Listen. This is more titles. More titles. So it's like.
And that's what I went through. Like when I brought the Ferrari, which my Ferrari's not big, it's a Ferrari 458. But when I brought it back home into my town, because in my town, you don't do stuff like that. And people are like, oh yeah, he probably rented it. He probably leased it. And I'm like, if I rented this car, it cost me $500,000 for the time I've had it. And Absolutely. I have the freaking title to it. Like I'm holding the title. I paid cash for it. And they're like, oh, well, you probably faked it till you make it.
Yo, hold on. I'm supposed to drop a Q-tips tomorrow, but I haven't even thought about a topic yet, right? So what Andy said, why? Okay. And this blows my fucking mind. So like, catch on, right? So the person that said that, right? They want to be good at that certain craft too, right? So why would you give them the time of day when they get to that point and congratulate them if they don't even know like what it even looks like to even be at the top, right? Like it's kind of weird. Like you're hating on a person that is good at what you're trying to get good at, which makes no sense to me.
It blows my mind. And it all comes back to the fact that they think it's not possible for them. And if it's not possible for them, it can't be possible to you because you're not as smart as them. I mean, dude, I heard that so much. You're like, bro, you're a high school dropout. You got your GED, and then you're a college dropout. I've got a PhD. You're not smarter than me. And
so how does it look? So how does a successful person look in their eyes?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like why does it have to look the way how you perceive it?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it's being presented right in front of your eyes, but just because it's not how they perceived success and growth in a certain craft, all of a sudden it's not.
And that's what blows my mind. It blows my mind when I see people even say, because you'll see me tag you and stuff, because I'll get messages. They're like, I can't believe you tagged Q. He does nothing but scam people. He lives off his course. And I'm like, you guys still can't see it. Like, look at what he has. Look at his life. You cannot fake it. You can't fake it.
Put it this way. Look, so I was like, damn, like if I was making this much fucking money off courses, even after showing withdrawal, 100,000 here, 100,000 there, showing my withdrawal history on KOT, if I was making that much money off courses, goddamn, congratulate me then. Like, fuck.
Right.
That's a lot of fucking money off courses, bro.
Your biggest,
you know what I'm saying? Like that means that I'm like a super great fucking marketer. I'm probably using ads. Listen, I haven't bought one ad since like the past like 7 years. Wall Street Academy has never had an ad ever. I've never done an ad. I've never paid for ads. I've never paid for sponsorships. I've never paid for anything. It's all just word of mouth.
I feel like you can make a lot of money off of it, but to maintain it, like you've been had the cars, you've been like you just keep leveling up. So it's like
it would be dumb if I spent over $1.5 million in cars. I have a $1 million house. I have all these things off course money. How is that going to be maintained? I don't get it.
Bro, is that people are just too quick to judge, bro. They're keyboard warriors, bro. It is what it is, bro. Like it is what it is. And they're just like here, you feel me? They're just through the screen. Yeah, so it's too easy to judge. Like, you know,
I think that's why I like seeing people come up. Like I like seeing Alex come up. Jason, Andy, you know, like, bro, because it's putting different faces to success.
In my opinion, that's your biggest. In my opinion, if there was anything that was like, this is more valuable than any car you could ever buy, this is more valuable than any amount of profit you'll ever make on MT4. In my opinion, your biggest flex, bro, is the amount of goats that you've created.
Dude, dude, listen, you could not say it more true, because that is, if you look at Q and if you look at Anthony, those two people have single-handedly created more educators, created more coaches, created more mentors that is spread like wildfire. And I've got people in my own hometown who now are making 6 figures a year trading because of something that I've showed them, but it's something that I've learned by watching Q, something I've learned by watching Anthony. And it's like, this could spread like crazy. All people have to do is realize it's real. That's it.
Yeah. And once you're building up the people that's around you the entire time, like, it's fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? The money is not fulfilling all the time, every single year. Like, it becomes a time that the money is, you become numb to it. You know what I'm saying? It's regular, you know? It becomes like a normality in a sense, right? So you get fulfillment out of helping other people. You get fulfillment out of, you know, building up another person so they could feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Put themselves in a better spot. That's where that other end of this entire thing comes from. For the first couple of years, and you're doing good. Yeah, you had 1K days, 10K days, the 100K weeks, like that kind of shit. Eventually, you come to a point that it's not about the money anymore. It's about the impact, you know? And the impact can come from you helping out another person, you starting a group, you starting to be an educator, like all these things, like whatever way that you want to actually, you know, add value to the niche in any kind of way. I feel like that's where the fulfillment comes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, like, the people that's teaching nowadays, like, they feel good standing up in front of a classroom and having people take notes on what they're trading or how they're trading. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about. Like, seeing Alex just come on here, he break down a couple of charts and that kind of shit, everybody's taking notes, that is fulfilling for Alex. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that over time, the money is not as fulfilling as everybody thinks, but at the same time, you come to a point that the money is just a digit. You know what I'm saying? It's just digital. It doesn't really
just numbers on a screen. It's just numbers on a screen.
It's numbers on the screen. And you come to that point when you get to a point that you could afford your lifestyle, you could afford whatever you want to buy and that kind of stuff. Now it's time to actually, start giving now. You actually made enough. All right, start giving now. Start giving your time to others so they can benefit now. You know what I'm saying? Start doing charities like how we do with FIP, like a little back to school give back. I'm doing like a turkey giveaway in November, like doing things around the community to pretty much give back in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where the fulfillment comes from over time, past and beyond the money aspect of things.
And it's crazy too, Q, because I've had people join like my Discord or sign up for one of my educational classes only for the simple fact they were a student of yours and they've heard my story and they're like, I just want to support you. They're like, I'm already a good trader, but I went to Q got me. I hear you talking about Q. I just want to support you, Andy. And it's like, to me, that's just crazy.
Love.
It's crazy.
That's love right there. And it's never wrong to learn from this person and then learn from that person. Don't ever feel that way, because I'll put it this way. If you have a pot full of people that you could learn something from, right? But you don't want to go to that pot because of ego, or like you want to have that title that you were self-taught and that kind of stuff. Like you really want to go through all that fucking headache and sleepless nights and crying because you've blown an account and that kind of shit. That shit is very depressing. You know what I'm saying? Versus going to a place that people have already been through all these things and all these emotional roller coasters and that kind of stuff. And then, you're skipping a lot of trials and tribulations by paying a little bit of money. And after that, you have a mentor that can pretty much guide you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the most dopest thing about the niche nowadays, because there's so many choices, there's so many options, there's so many different people that have different stories and different walks of life that a person can relate to and learn something from that person, so they don't have to go through all those trials and tribulations.
Dude, amen. Well, I've got to jump back off here. I'm on the yacht. I'm actually wearing the currency geek. Wearing it. So I'm telling you, I've got like 3 or 4 of these, because I've only bought one. But when I bought one, people were buying them and sending them to me as a gift because they knew I loved it so much. So I've got like 3 or 4 of these I wear. I'm here on the yacht. We're hosting a big party tonight on it. But dude, I just, again, I saw you jump on. I told Roy I'm jumping on at 2 a.m. to trade the lunch session. But again, I just want to say I appreciate you and thank you, because again, without ever seeing your profile, I would have never met Anthony, who has become family. I would have never met the other traders in the industry. And obviously I wouldn't be trading Forex and I wouldn't be helping other people. So it's greatly appreciated, man. Really.
Appreciate that, man. Like, it means a lot. Trust me, it means a lot.
Listen, Andy, thanks again for stopping by. And also, honestly, bro, great idea on the 24 hours. Looking forward to seeing you at 2 a.m. Enjoy yourself.
It's gonna be lit. Thank you for having me.
All right, bro. Take care.
Great to see you.
Biggest thing I'll say, the biggest thing I'll say, bro, is you solidified on Mount Rushmore, bro. Like, that's the beauty of it, is like your face is on the Mount Rushmore of this trading shit. And like, that's just, you know what I'm saying, as far as legacy is concerned, solidify. You got nothing to prove to anybody, bro. Like, that's why I just want to make sure you get your roses, bro. Real shit, we can all say, bro, you did this and you did that. No, bro, fuck that shit. Like, if people really understood that you had to pave the way, there was no Q for Q to learn from. You had to fucking pave the way.
Listen, like if I could like really sit here, like, it's crazy because I remember every year so friggin' vividly, bro. Like, I remember just like even seeing the first couple posts on Facebook about people trading and everything back in 2014, and just like being curious, you know what I'm saying? Like, and after that, just, networking and meeting this person, meeting that person, just like really just like being active and seeing how the niche grew and everything, bro. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing feeling, but also it's amazing to like take a step back and like look at everything that has grown over the past, like, 5 or 6 years. You know what I'm saying? it's a incredible.
Can I ask you, this is something I've always been curious about. Is there anybody that you look up to in this space? Like when you were coming up, is there anybody that you would say provided the same influence that you're providing for us?
Honestly, no. I had one friend. Like if anybody had seen like my come up video, I speak about this one person. His name is Eric Rodriguez on Facebook and everything. He's not really on social media like nowadays, but he's the only person I'll probably say like mentor wise. Like I never really had a mentor, but at the same time, I would put him in that mentor category only because we were good friends, but at the same time, he helped me take certain risks or take certain chances of just wanting to like level up. Like he's the first person that I seen make 10K a day, 20K a day, 40K trades, you know what I'm saying? And actually started changing his life based on that. And he kind of encouraged me to be like, oh, yo, bro, like, make a big account. Like I had sent him a voice note on Messenger, and I was like, yo, bro, like I'm thinking about depositing 5K, bro. Like that's a lot of money, man. Like 5K, bro. Come on, like what should I do? He's like, yo, listen, like if you've been doing good so far, bro, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like risk it, because at the end of the day, like that's gonna make everything a lot easier. That's gonna put a lot like less stress on you. That's gonna make you like not have to be inside the market 24/7, because at the same time, like you're making bigger lot sizes. Like all those small talks, like it helped me, accomplish so many things, and I get over so many humps and that kind of stuff. And that was all the way in 2014, 2015. And that's literally the only person I would say that I actually like, looked up to in any kind of way as far as like mentor wise. But besides that, like I have a lot of good friends that's very, very good at what they do. But I don't have a lot of people that sit me down and like, talk to me like, yo, bro, like do this or do that and mentor me, honestly, like it would have been cool, but it's just like, I don't know, like a lot of times I just end up becoming friends with a lot of people that's good at what they do, but I wouldn't really say mentor. I'll say friend,
So nowadays, I guess you're probably at the point where, you definitely don't need a mentor. So who would you say like inspires you, or not really inspires you, motivates you?
Motivates.
Like, are you motivated by your own, like, you just want to be better than your old self? Like, or are you looking at somebody else? Like, Anthony's always talking about, you guys are in a healthy competition.
Yeah. Like,
where do you stand on that?
That kind of shit motivates me. Yeah. Like it motivates us because it's like, we're on like we're seeing eye to eye the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like where we both came up at the same exact time. We're grinding at the same exact rate. Everything's pretty much like, it's not like, one's above the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just like dead on track, and it's cool knowing that, all right, damn, like Anthony made 100,000 more than I did today. Like, all right, fuck. All right, so that means that I gotta go a little bit harder at what I'm doing and everything, so I can pretty much beat him, tomorrow or like next week. Like that alone is like a sense of motivation, because that's pushing my limits for a limit that I thought I had, but pretty much he's trying to like break that limit indirectly, you know what I'm saying? Based off of what he's doing, and me seeing that, and just knowing that it's possible that he's doing that for a person that's so close to me, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's not like I had any kind of doubt when it comes to him, because, like we're eye to eye,
For sure. I mean, it must be good to at least have somebody there that's like neck and neck. Did you feel for a while that you were kind of in your own lane and that you didn't really have that motivation, or did you always have an internal drive?
No, always. Because remember, we have FIP, I have Ryan and that kind of stuff also. So like, I always had that one person that I could consider like my trading buddy in a sense, right?
Okay.
Because the worst thing that a person can do is not have somebody else to talk to, you know what I'm saying? Not have somebody else to relate a fucked up account or a fucked up trade or a fucked up day. I feel like it's very, very good to like, have those people around that you could actually, speak on, like, yo, listen, like, man, like I had a rough day, man. The fucking account got margined out. Like I'm going through it like right now, bro. Like that kind of like really talk about those kind of things. And that's why it's important, like when you're coming up or even like starting, the journey and that kind of stuff, that, be around people that has the same kind of passion that you have for the certain craft. And that alone is going to make everything a lot easier. And And yeah, so like as you guys are coming up, you guys are motivating each other by seeing each other's growth.
So if somebody's sitting at home, because I know it's easy for us, like we're really out here and we're building a community with folks that have the same passion. For someone at home that doesn't have anyone around them that trades, is it better for them to stick to their own craft or to like be around people that are like sort of trading, not trading, that may not be the best influence? Is it better to have no influences or bad influence?
I feel like even a little influence is cool. Like even if the people that you're around is not trading enough, like you could be that person that they're looking for to inspire them to want to trade more.
Okay,
you know
that's awesome.
Because they start seeing what you're doing and the kind of money that you're making and that kind of stuff, and then eventually, like it comes to a point that you inspire them to want to go hard now.
That's awesome. That's really awesome, dude. This has been so phenomenal. Like. just the past 2 hours alone of hearing everybody go back and forth. Yeah, I really appreciate you again stopping in. This has been
definitely, man. Definitely. I just wanted to like to show face real quick. Say my piece.
You guys raise your hand if you've been motivated or inspired by Q Banks, right? And if you don't have your video on, just raise your hand in the chat or just put something in the chat.
Where's the chat
at? There's a chat box below if you're on the Zoom, so it'll be below. So you can see, like, if you see the participants list, everyone has their hand raised.
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, I see it. Everybody.
Yeah, just put them in the chat, guys. Just put it in the chat box. Put it in the chat box. If you guys have been inspired or motivated by Q at any point in your journey, just put it in there. Q, I just want to show you, like, this is the impact and the legacy that you've left is honestly insane. It's honestly incredible.
Nah, it's a dope thing to look at, man. Like, I love seeing people grow, man. So, hey, like. I had said like a couple years ago and everything, it's lonely like when you're that only friend that is doing like some wild shit, like, yo man, like let's rent a fucking jet and fly here or fly there. Yo, like let's get some new cars. You know what I'm saying? Like it's boring. You know what I'm saying? So like having a group of friends to actually do that with, like I feel like that's the fucking goal. That's the goal. Like being able to have fun and just ball out with the people that you're close to and that kind of shit, man. So okay. Hey, that's the kind of legacy that I'm trying to actually, get to. Like that's what the entire FIP crew, like that's the overall goal, man. Just have fun and just do it as a family type shit,
Look, and I think this is really like the community you've built in FIP. Once I went down to Miami and I really saw the community that you've built, like it's like celebrity status. It's real deal. People got tattoos with the logo. Like it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
So James is on the call, so I'm going to put him on the spot. What do you think about James doing this torch? Any advice you would give him or anything that?
So yeah, so like like I said, like I mean I have no doubt about it that James is gonna complete the torch. Honestly, like that's why like if like when you guys seen him give me money that one time and everything, it was because like one time, like I mean we were always talking even after he had left the body class and that kind of stuff, and he was always very aggressive or just like very just like, eager to just like do something, you know what I'm saying? So he had called me up this one time. He's like, yo, bro, man, like, can you spot me, blah, blah, blah. So I had like 18K in cryptos. And after that, I gave him the 18K. I'm like, bro, say less, I got you. Boom, send him $18,000. You know what I'm saying? Trade it, So the count got fucked up.
Like it's water.
The count got fucked up bad, but then he actually he took a step back from trading for like I think a couple months and that kind of stuff, got his mind right, and then came back and was just a fucking beast. You know what I'm saying? So like seeing how he actually gained a level of consistency and that kind of stuff from like what he's shown for the past like year or so, it's been incredible. So like I have no doubt about it at all that he's gonna complete this torch plus more. Like I feel like he's gonna go beyond the 20K. All right, this is what I'm envisioning. I'm trying to think of the best situation. I think he's gonna bring the 5K to 100K, right? He's gonna break me off like 40,000.
No pressure.
It's gonna be all good. That's what I'm envisioning. So I hope James hears this too. I hope
I'm here, bro. Right here, bro. I'm here.
And he break me off like $40,000, bro.
Yeah.
No, this is crazy.
James.
You can hear me?
Did you hear me?
Yeah. You on?
Yeah,
Yo, James, can you hear me?
We outside, bro. Like I'm once I get it to like 50K, bro, it's a wrap, bro. Like it's a wrap.
That's it. And then
that's why I'm just waiting for. I haven't taken a trade because I really want to make sure that first one is just a banger, and then I can just go.
And that's the smartest thing. Yo, I tell people all the time, like when it comes to building accounts, that first trade on a brand new account can either motivate the fuck out of you or tear you apart.
Right.
Like, let's say if you have $1,000 account and all of a sudden your first trade, you make like $1,200. Yo, you're gonna be pumped, right? But let's say that first trade, you're like negative $300. You're gonna be like, man, fuck. So I only have $700 now. Like I'm kind of stressed out because now I have less to work with and all these things. So that first couple trades sets the tone for the entire account.
Right. Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it on the mindset of a person that just build accounts. Like James, he gets an account, build a fucking account. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not worried about percentages all the time and that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like we're worried about, did I fucking make money or did I not make money? You know, like that's what it comes down to. So it's the first couple trades, it has to be some on point trades, like no minimum risk, like some on point trades, like guarantee fucking profit trades. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel you, and I gotta respect it too for you being patient, because trust me, some people would just say, yo, I got a 5K account now, let's go ham in an hour.
Right.
The next hour,
that's what lost the money in the first place. Is exactly what I did. You know? Like,
just imagine.
Like I blew that account quick too. I mean, that was when I first started trading. So you know, like
I know. Listen, I was telling them, like, when you told me that fucking 18K was gone, I'm like, how the fuck? It hasn't even been 24 hours.
Damn, wasn't that soon? I don't ever been that soon. Fuck. Man.
But it's cool because it's like, yo, that kind of stuff, I feel like it's always fun to just like look back and laugh at now, because I'm like, yo, listen, like, James, like you were just like all over the place, bro. Like
I learned, I definitely, every time you lose, you learn something, bro. And I lost a lot before I started winning, you know. So every time I just learned something new, you know.
Yeah, but it's good to add to the story, like, yo, listen, like when I was a beginner trader, I was a fucking wild boy, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, over time, like you kind of learn the discipline factor and like that kind of shit. So yeah, it's cool, trust me.
Yeah, the people listening at home, that has to be the biggest takeaway, which is if you guys hear about like how he was talking about James at the beginning, and like that account was gone in a day and all this stuff, and everybody looks at James's success now and like the millions and all this stuff, and it's like, oh, it happened overnight. Like imagine losing that account to Q and like you know, like having that kind of like, you know, having to bounce back from that.
Not
so wherever you guys think
like,
you are, there's
like
always a bounce back point.
Our relationship, you know, like it put it like we were friends, you know, and I felt like shameful to even show face. Like I was like, yo, that's my, you know, like I just felt terrible, honestly.
Yeah, that's why, like, I had told James, yo, bro, don't stress about the money. When you get right, get me right.
Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you never pressed me. You never pressed me at all. You were super cool about it, bro, and I appreciate it, man, for real.
And look, so I never pressed it because I was making money. So like why would I stress about $18,000 when I was making more than that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I know that you owe me money, but like I'm not gonna stress you. Like I know, like, yo, like you're going through your own thing, and I have no doubt that like when you get right, you'll make sure that everything is looked out for, and that's what I feel like the respect comes in. Because if I had to like ask you about it, like that's where the issue can actually cause some kind of a friction in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like if a person owes you money, they're gonna know that they owe you money. You know what I'm saying? And then they're gonna make sure that they take care of you first once they get right.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a principle thing. Like in anything in life, like if you're playing with somebody else's money, they shouldn't have to ask you, yo, bro, like I'll give me my money back. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Like if a person is making money, they're not gonna stress about small money. If I'm making $100,000 a week or that kind of shit, why am I gonna stress a person over $18,000?
It's the perfect example.
For the people that don't know what happened after, oh my bad, Dimitri. But for the people that don't know what happened after, can you explain? Like James ended up coming back with the money, right?
Yeah, yo, and
on his own accord.
Yeah, and that's what I love about James though, because James is, for one, genuine. For one, he likes to make sure that, you know, he keeps a good bond with whoever he's with and that kind of stuff, right? And I don't need to press James about anything at all, because James knows, like, you know, he's very conscious of like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So he brought the money back. He had a great fucking week. I think that week he made like, I don't even fucking know, honestly, but it was high six figures. And then, yeah, I love getting paid in cash, baby. Cash is always fun. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
no taxes. No taxes.
You know, listen, so James,
James, cut that shit out on the bro. We talked about
it was like 20K in
the
cash,
feds are watching.
and I'm like, yo, listen, like, because I wasn't expecting it. You know what I'm saying? So when you're not expecting money and then you just get like a bunch of cash, I'm like, yo, listen, this is fucking fun. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to put this shit in the compound. Like, the money was definitely gone in the next like few days because I bought compound shit. But it's just like, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, like, I didn't have to press a person that I also cared about as well. But that's like probably like the worst thing. Like, pressing a person that you actually are really, really cool with is the most uncomfortable situation. You know what I'm saying? So seeing that I didn't have to do that, and then he got right, and it made sure that he got me right as soon as possible. I love that, because that means that I could trust you with money now. You know what I'm saying? I could give you money and not have to worry about it now. Like, now I can give you 100,000 and then all of a sudden know that I'm not gonna have to press you about the 100,000, because you know that there's 100,000 there for me. You know what I'm saying? But if you gotta press a person over $5, you're not gonna ever trust them with any amount of money then. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, I feel like if you have any kind of friends that you gave money the first time, it's kind of like, that's gonna be the make or break. Like, for example, I had a person that asked me for money the other day, right? $500. They're like, yo, listen, like, I'll give you the money back in a couple of days. I want to get paid. I'm like, all right, cool. Don't stress it. Just, when you get it, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? And then the time came and I didn't get any kind of updates and that kind of stuff. I'm like, yo, it's kind of weird. Like, and then it was always a bunch of excuses, weeks on weeks. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, no kind of update. Like, that's kind of weird, you know? So that person has now lost the opportunity to get any other money now. And all it took was $500. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big tell. I mean, in your position, Q, do you feel like you've had to go through that throughout your journey of making money, like with family and friends?
I feel like every person that goes from all of a sudden not making much to like making a bunch of money, you're going to go through that in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be people that's going to be asking for handouts and that kind of stuff, which is, I feel like you have to be very selective. I wouldn't say don't be the person to give money out, but be very selective, because there's going to be some people that, like James, I would have fucking never gave anybody else 18K just out of nowhere. But I knew James and I believed in what he could do. So that's why I took the risk upon myself to even do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm very selective on who actually give money to and that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like, you don't want to make a person think that you're trying to handicap them. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you get to a certain spot and everything, and then all of a sudden you have a person that is not doing so well, like, giving them money is one thing, but you're also giving them like a crutch, you know, so they don't need to grow then, because, oh, I'm getting money from this person. Like, why should I grow when I could just ask for money then? Like, it doesn't make the person find their own selves. You know what I'm saying?
So, quick question.
100%. That handout does, you know, it tends to make people weaker because they rely on it. I think that's a good point for sure.
Yo, ChartAddicts, real quick. Quick question for James. So, do you think that the fact that Q wasn't really pressing you for the money that gave you like the ability to like free your mind and kind of trade better? Like, he wasn't like really on top of you about it and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I had, prior to that, like, you know, when I first started, bro, like I said, it was very aggressive. Like, I borrowed money from somebody like I shouldn't have borrowed money from. You know? Like someone you don't want to borrow money from, bro. Yeah. Like, you know, like knocking at your door type of shit, phone calls, like from a million different numbers, shit like that. So it wasn't that much money. Like, it was a similar amount. It was like 10K, whatever. I paid him back, like, but that was like most of my liquid funds, you know, when I first started trading.
And he talks about just
but yeah, it was just all in my head. Like, it's all, you know, like you're fighting from a deficit, and it's just not the psychology you want to have when you're trading, you know. It's just
definitely not. Definitely not. So like,
Me up.
you're gonna do.
I mean,
that.
at least he gave it back to you.
Like,
Now
I felt like I was
so.
cool the whole time. I was like, yo, I don't have to worry about it. Like, I mean, I felt bad internally because obviously we're friends, but the fact that you weren't, so intrusive.
And he's not lying when he say he feels bad because he says that shit to me all the time. I'm like, bro, it's over. Like, you made the money.
Yeah, no, but look, so this is how you could tell a person is making money or not making money. If I was pressing James every other day, like, bro, listen, I need it. That means that I'm not truly making money that I say that I'm making then, right? Right? Or am I tripping?
No, that's
I think you can look at it. I think you can look at it both ways. I think because your character, maybe you're not like a greedy person, and maybe you don't kind of like sweat things like that. You kind of you're the type of person that's like really focused on what they're doing and they're in their zone. So you don't let little shit bother you. Where people, they could be making money and they kind of have the attitude where they let little shit bother them, and you know what I'm saying?
It's like it's about the principle and not the money kind of deal.
Yeah, brush it off. Everybody's different,
Yeah, just brush it off.
I mean, honestly, it's more of like a principle type of thing because, like, like if I'm going to give you my hard-earned money, correct? It doesn't matter what amount it is. You don't have to, you can pay me whenever you want to pay me. It doesn't matter, right? But if you don't want to pay me and you want to give me excuses, that just kind of makes me feel like, yo, like you don't look at me as you don't look at me as a man to kind of like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, you know what I mean? Like, I work hard for this money. It could be a little chump change, but if you can't, if you want to give me excuses and little things like I'm a little kid, then like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, fuck it.
But that's good that Q has that attitude because most people don't have that attitude when it comes to money. You know what I'm saying? People get shot over $5, like, for real.
So Q, how much do you think that helps you make more money? Because you're not really like in a mode of like stressing over it. Do you feel like that's helped your success? That mindset, having that mindset?
I feel like that got me like emotionally numb to debt or like, making money mess up a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like it came down to like that kind of stuff. So like I don't really make money like, mess up bonds that could be so much more beautiful because of a little figure. You know what I'm saying? So it makes me just more at ease. I don't really try to stress over that kind of shit. I try to focus on like what's more important. And me just knowing that I have a platform that money can be generated. I'm not going to stress about money that's, pending on this side, like right here. You know what I'm saying? So it makes things a lot more easy mentally.
Yeah, that's basically what I was trying to get at. I feel like, I mean, there's obviously times in everyone's life where you have both moods where like, let's say something, somebody owes you something and you're sort of in this like, it's really more about the principle than the money. But then there's other times where you really just let it go. And then by letting it go, like more money comes in and shit like that. So that's kind of what I was trying to get at. I'm trying to get your take on that.
I had a situation when I was working back in 2013. I had like $5,000 in my bank account, Bank of America at the time. And then I had somebody close to me that asked me for like $2,500, actually for like $2,000. And I got to the bank, then they're like, yo, can you give me like $2,500 instead? I'm like, all right, bet. Like, you're paying me back on Friday, right? Yeah, man, Friday. It's all good. So I'm like, here, an extra $500, whatever. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give back the money on Friday, so I'm not going to stress it. So $2,500. Now I only have $2,500 to my name now, and even till this day, I haven't got a penny of that money back.
Crazy.
Not even like one penny. Like it came that Friday. I asked about it. Yeah, man. Like on Monday came. Asked about it again. Yeah, man. Yo, like, and then time came. Then all of a sudden it came excuses and that kind of stuff. And then I thought about it. So when I started making money and that kind of stuff, like in trading, like, why am I stressing about this so much and making this affect a bond with this person when, I'm now making money that makes that money irrelevant. But at the same time, I never spoke to the person for like 3 years. Like I literally just like stopped talking to that person for like 3 years because I felt so betrayed and like slapped in the face because like Daniel said, it's the principle of the situation. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that this was owed and all of a sudden it was ignored. Like I ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't shit. I'm type
like
shit.
I'd rather have somebody tell me, hey, look, thank you for the money, but I can't pay you back. Like,
wow.
Instead of like, you know what I mean?
Anything
Like
else that I could do for you type shit. So right. Like clean your dishes or some shit. Like you gotta
just own up. Just own up. Because
is that
deeper than the bread.
Yeah. Is that the cost to figure out who is like genuinely honest with you? Is that really the cost? Like you loan somebody $2,000, you don't pay it back. That's like you pay $2,000 to find out that person wasn't like reliable to you or wasn't honest to you. Is that basically it?
I think so. I think that that's the cost of it. Yeah, definitely. And that's all it takes is like that. If that certain figure, I feel like that's the cost of, are you really, real, and do you really respect me as a person type shit.
So because if they'll fuck you over for
$500, they'll fuck you over.
Wait, I want to ask you guys. All right, so you said you had 5,000 and you gave him half. You gave him half what you had in your bank account, right? It's a good friend of yours. Do you think things would have been different and of you if it would have been like you giving him only $100 from that $5,000?
If I only gave him $100, out of the 5K?
Yeah, because you gave him half.
Yeah.
And nobody fucking does that. I'm sorry, bro. Like, I wouldn't do that. I'm not giving somebody half of my fucking money. You know what I mean? So that right there, like, you're just a very fucking nice person. You know what I mean? But hey, look at you right now. Hey, God bless you beyond measure. You know what I'm saying?
I think regardless of whatever amount of money that I gave him or I didn't give him, it would have still been the same turnout, because it's not as if he was the center of all my success and growth and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was just like one person within everything, but that one person didn't really make a major difference in, me growing or not growing.
So you think it's about the character, not about the amount of money?
Correct.
If they're not going to pay you back 500. They're not going to pay you back 100.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think if it was 100 or $50, that money was never going to come back to me because I was younger. So I'm being looked at as a kid versus as a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna ask you this, bro, like, because that was 50% of your net worth at the time.
Yeah.
So like, for you to give out 50% of your net worth at that time, how many people in your circle now do you feel like you could give 50% of your current net worth to and see it back within a week?
That's a pretty tough question.
That's a tough one.
That's crazy. That's a crazy.
That's some real shit, though. That's some real shit.
No,
I know it's less than probably 2 or 3 people that you look like dead ass half your net worth. They have to pay it back in a week, and you would really trust them to.
Yeah, like I definitely have a few. It's definitely like a handful. You know what I'm saying? It's really not like this much. It's probably just like this much or like less. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's really not common at all, honestly. And those people are very, very selected only because of this. I have to know that they're actually making money. You know what I'm saying? I gotta actually know that they're not capping for just Instagram and that kind of shit. Like, shit's real. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Once that's a thing, all right, cool. Like, I know that I'm gonna get it back because money's coming in on that side. You know what I'm saying? So that's what kind of comes down to, bro. Like, I have to know about that person's finances to a certain extent.
Q, can I get your take on U30? Because obviously we got you in the house.
So share my screen type shit?
I mean, if you want to share your screen, help yourself.
Nobody's gonna stop you.
Nobody is gonna stop you.
Yo, take away my screen.
Imagine I say,
listen, I'm trying to fucking smoke my spliff and vibe, but all right, I got
you.
Take
Jason's been on this all day,
bro. All right, that's all you, Q.
Imagine we're on the stream and I'm like, nah, Q, you can't share your screen.
Yeah, so like, for one, I never ever recommend people to even trade US 30. You know why?
Crazy.
This is a fucking beast, man. Like, that's the biggest reason why, honestly, like, you got to really be like mentally stable to even trade the shit right now. So this right here is a little bit of my chart. I haven't really been active on here for the past like couple of days because I've just been on my phone.
Oh, and you killed it. You killed it last week, right?
Yeah,
killer month, killer.
It was 770 like last week, and this week has not really been much, honestly, because I haven't really been trading.
But that's also, I feel like, that's what a lot of good traders like. You know when is your time to trade, what range you want to be in, and everything, and you're cool with taking a whole week off. Like, sometimes everyone trade. I feel like a lot of people over trade, and it's their downfall. You know.
Yeah, people have this like false notion that we have to trade every day in order to make money when like it's really not.
Because I feel like that happens because people lose the value of a dollar, and they feel like, yo, 80K is not enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to make 400,000 because 80K is not enough. 80K is a lot of money. 5K is a lot of money. $1,000 can definitely cover a lot of bills and that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when you give it like some real thought. You know what I'm saying?
So you feel like it's not about the amount that counts; it's the plan that counts.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm saying in terms of like trade selection as well, like, you know, just quality over quantity. You know, like I don't take a lot of trades, but like the last time I lost a trade was when I did the podcast with Roy in July. Like on my personal account, I haven't lost since like July like 16th or something like that. So I've only taken like I took like 14 trades or 12 trades or something like that. But that's how I flipped the bread, bro. I just didn't lose, and you know.
Yeah, and then it flowed out. So this right here is my US 30 breakdown overall. Pretty much like US 30 has been on like a super steep downtrend for quite a bit and everything, but like whenever I'm looking at 30, I always just look at main structure. So like my main structure on 30 is always on average. I wouldn't say always. I say on average like H4, for the main fact that it's a very thick time frame. I feel like it's very good for your directional bias and like all these things. But at the same time, it's never like a time frame that I'm taking entries on and like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like me knowing the direction of bias. I know like what to actually aim for either like my long-term trades or like my short-term trades, right? So with this trade setup, like I've been like fucking around with this entire zone for quite the past like couple of days actually, because this has been like a super simple setup. So what I seen here was the market itself is on a super steep downtrend, and like once I started seeing these areas, right, where is it? These areas like this, and pretty much creating like, you know, it looks kind of like a double bottom type pattern on the H1 time frame, but like even on this time frame, you still see all this exhaustion like right here as well. So I'm seeing all of this, and I'm seeing overall a higher low point, which kind of shows that you're having some sort of like shift in the momentum of this entire move like right here. So that's why like once I actually seen that this area actually started making higher low points, I pulled out my fibs. I measured this pullback like right here, came down to the 61.8%. And my overall target for this entire point, like right here, was negative 27%. Because me knowing that it actually created the higher low point, I'm aiming for some sort of like bullish type move. So me seeing this on the H4 time frame, I'm aiming for some sort of bullish move. Like it could be short term, but at the same time, I know that it's enough pressure at least to actually break this high point like right here. And it did like just that. So all along here, like this is like what I was trading this entire week. This all happened like last night. All of this like right here was the same level of the support that was being respected the first time as well. Mm-hmm. So then going down to a lower time frame, such as like the M15 or the M30, you know, looking for a certain kind of transition, certain sort of like bullish engulfing type patterns to like, you know, give me indication that this area is ready for some sort of breakout. That's what I was looking for throughout this entire move. This MA that I'm using like right here, it could be used as an example of a point of a resistance. So me seeing that it actually started to create all this exhaustion, started to create higher low points all along the same level of the support as well. That's the indication that, you know, there's some sort of a bullish move coming inside this market like right here. So me seeing that gave me the opportunity to then be playing off of the main structure on the H4 time frame that I was aiming for. So like I'm aiming for overall buy opportunities, but at the same time, like I have to make sure that the buy opportunities that I'm taking is based off of a lower time frame itself. So the low time frame itself is flowing along with that bigger time frame's overall move, and that's why, like, you know, I was focused on more buys than sells throughout this entire point, because I actually know the overall direction of bias of this entire move here.
How come you don't have the time frame with the little stars? How come you don't like favorite them out? You can like select them out, so you have like your time frames
like on favorites.
Yeah,
because I use every time frame. That's the thing. Like I never ever like play favorites, which is that's what it's called. It's called favorites. I don't play favorites because there are certain situations that I have to use H4. There's certain situations that I have to use H1, M30, M15, M5, M1. You know what I'm saying? So like I never know which time frame that I have to use to actually, you know, dissect a certain area of the market. I have to pretty much just use based on what needs to be used for that certain time, you know? So if I actually just play favorites, I'm kind of like hindering myself in some kind of way for not seeing the details when I could be seeing the details, but I'm so stuck on a certain type of time frames.
Do you think that EQ is more important than technicals when trading US 30, or do you find them just as equally important? Or do you, because I know you just said like, yo, you know, when you're trading this, like you got to be like really mentally stable because this shit will make you.
Yeah, not personally, like when it comes to US 30, like I mean, fundamentals is definitely cool, but I'm like a 90% technical trader, honestly.
No, when I mean EQ, when I say EQ, I mean like the emotional intelligence. Yeah.
The emotional aspect. Definitely, because I feel like you build that emotional intelligence by trading other peers. You know what I'm saying? Like trading GJ, like trading AU for beginners, trading US UJ for a little bit, trading gold for a little bit, trading cryptos for a little bit. Like all of that is building emotional intelligence for going on to faster pairs. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? I remember you used to trade AUD, and then after AUD, what was it? USD JPY was your favorite pair, and then after USD JPY was what?
Yeah, so like I only switched pairs when I hit like a milestone on one pair. Like,
was that intentional or not intentional?
Not intentional at all. Like I'm looking back at it and I'm like, I got bored of XRP USD when I hit the $1,000 account to 74,000.
74K. Yeah.
I got bored of gold when I did my first 100K week. Or no, 100K trade.
I feel sad hearing that shit.
I got bored of UJ when I hit the 30K week. You know what I'm saying? So like after that, I just wanted something more because I'm like, yo, like I can handle this. All right, cool. Like what's next? You know.
So what made you get on the US 30? Was it somebody posting, or would you just kind of like?
Yeah. So it was one person posting on that I was following on Instagram, and I was like, yo, like what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like it said US 30, and then he was making a lot of fucking money off a low lot size. So like I didn't really understand it at first. You know what I'm saying? So like I looked it up, I looked at the contract sizes, I see how different the contract sizes were from currencies and commodities and that kind of shit. And then I was in Cali teaching, and I had $1,000 account, and then I did a 0.01 while I was teaching. And then by the time that I ended the class, I was up $700 on a 0.01, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? You know? So once I seen that first trade, I was like, yo, if this made me $700 in this amount of time with this easy ass fucking analysis, imagine a 0.05 or a 0.20. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when I started doing like 0.10s. I started making like 7,000 here, 8,000 there, that kind of shit.
Did you try out other pairs? Were you like, yo, let me go to JER 30 or Nas 100 just to see?
No, because that's the thing. Like I never seen JER 30. I never seen Nas 100 either. I only seen US 30 at the time. Like no one else was trading anything else. Like I only seen US 30 being traded. No other index being traded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I just found out about like JER 30 and that kind of stuff. A lot of it because James been trading it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that kind of shit. But besides that, like, listen, I don't dabble in things that are brand new too much, because if things are paying me like how I need to be paid, then why am I gonna leave?
But I have
a question for you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I think candlesticks are universal across like any chart. Personally, I think it's all the same shit for the most part. They just behave in different ways.
Listen, yeah, like if you got a girl that gives you a massage every night, you know what I'm saying, cooks you food, this and that, all these things, why am I gonna want to look around?
Right.
Exactly. It's so crazy that you say that.
But yo, you could get a massage from one, the other one could cook you the food.
Oh God.
This guy's risk it all.
Listen, like it's like, yo, like
full margin.
It's like this pair had made me multiple 6-figure trades. So it's like, why would I ever want to even dabble in something else when I can make 6 figures, which is green money, like how I would make over here, but I know what I'm doing over here. So why am I going to even dabble in the unknown?
So after that first day of the 700, you were like, yo, this is it. Like,
I'm hooked. I'm done. Listen, I erased everything.
Let's ask the main question. The main question. All right. So you taught the class, you made some good fucking money. You're like, yo, okay, let me find out. A little 0.5 and, now you made some real good money. You're like, yo, that's it. Nah, this is it from now on right here.
Yeah.
This is the big boy. This is the big boy. So the profits were good. Now, everybody knows who the fuck Q Banks is. Everybody knows what US 30 is because of Q Banks. But what people don't know is how was that first big loss? Like, did that emotionally hit you where you're like, fuck, dude, you know, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't know if I want to trade this.
No, because I mean, I've had like 6-figure losses with US 30 before, you know what I'm saying? Like one time, like on like
but that first big one, you know what I mean? Like that first big one that had you like, damn.
Like 20 something $1,000 on like a 0.10. Like I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, but like the news hit, that shit went crazy, and I'm like, yo, what the hell was going on? You know what I'm saying? Because it happened so quick that I wasn't even expecting it. But I took a step back after that, and I was like, yo, I can't be that one-sided person. Like I'm expecting to like make so much, but I'm expecting to lose nothing. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not open to losing what I'm gaining, I shouldn't be trading this pair.
So now do you feel kind of like, because you said basically, like, I look at it the same way. It's like you love one single pair, and it's like dating that one single pair, right? Like you can go on a date with a bunch of different girls, right? But there's one person that you're going to have to live with. There's one person that you're going to have to marry and move in with. So when you looked at US 30, did you feel kind of like, damn, I kind of want a little side piece and see what's on the other side and just kind of look at another pair? Or was US 30, that's it?
Bro, look, so I came back.
Y'all are some savages,
Cali, right?
man.
I came back from Cali. I scaled up my lot size a tad bit. I was doing like 0.05. Like if you look back at like my posts on Instagram, this is why I love that I have over 4,000 posts on Instagram, because I show you guys the storyline of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I came back from Cali, and for the first 2 weeks, I wasn't showing no one what I was trading, because I'm like, yo, listen, I'm about to keep this shit to myself. I'm not gonna show no one. I was showing profits, but I was always hiding the pair that I'm trading, because I'm like, yo, listen, like I'm not about to have everybody fucking start dabbling in this shit, because this shit is gold. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I swear to God, like I was showing profits, and bro, it was like 5K, 7K every single fucking day, every single trade. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm coming to. That's right when I have bought the new Porsche, the GT3 RS, because bro, like I was cashing out big time, like out of nowhere, you know, and it happened so fast, because I'm like, yo, listen, like I feel like I'm barely even risking anything, and this shit is so easy to analyze. Like, what the fuck? Like, why would I even switch? So when I finally show people like what I was trading, people were fucking mind blown. They didn't really understand a lot.
So you don't even look at any other pairs now. You don't even.
Yeah, Eurostay will be on Instagram just chilling. Q Banks another 7-figure day. Yeah, I'm waiting for his phone call.
No, but he doesn't use a watch.
I'll be expecting a phone call.
Yeah. No. I've never ever done 7 figures in like one trade. I came close, but never could execute it, because I feel like when you're actually trying to like, you know, trade for that much amount of money, like you're gonna put yourself in like a danger zone.
What's the last pair you traded before besides US 30? Like what's the last pair that you say that you touched? We know you fuck with US 30 every day, but what's pair you just like, all right, I'm gonna just dip my feet in the water real quick? He said, damn, all I know is US 30.
Bro, so, that's the thing with people, right? Because people, you know, they trade like 10 different freaking pairs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
that's what I'm saying.
They trade like 10 different things. You know what I mean? Like there are people that literally just message me all day. Like, you know, like when people like, for example, like they buy my solutions, like, what the fuck? Give me a refund. All you trade is GJ. Like, give me my money back. Like,
I hate that.
Yeah, all I do is trade GJ. You know what I mean? Like, you build a psychological relationship with the pair. Yeah. You know what I mean?
If you're making money every single day on that one pair that makes the same green money like how you would on a different pair, why would you want to dabble in something that is iffy versus something that has a lot more? You know, like you could actually understand it more.
That's how I felt when I was first trading gold, bro. Like everyone's like, why do you only trade gold? Like you don't do Forex? I'm like, bro, like that's just what I like. Like
I mean, you just build a psychological relationship with the pair, and then once you got that relationship, you know, you're confident. You know what I mean? And it's just like you just feel invincible, you feel unstoppable. You know, your emotions are out the window now. You know what I mean? You just kind of see yourself, and you find yourself not so scared to take trades anymore, because you know you've just been doing this one for this long, and it's just like, bro, like I'm not afraid to take trades.
Q is the definition of,
you know what I mean?
He says that he's not afraid of a man who's practiced 1,000 kicks. He's afraid of a man that's practiced one kick 1,000 times.
Exactly, bro. And like, that's the thing, right? Because like, you know, Ryan one time said like, yo, you can just say this shit and it's just going to come out through one ear to the other. These people like, yo, like we give them everything. And then they just let it just pass by them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, bro, notice how Q Banks just doesn't trade gold and US30. He said, no, fuck gold. I'm gonna trade US30. Right? I used to trade gold. I said, fuck gold. I'm gonna trade GJ. After coronavirus started, I haven't traded anything else but GJ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like that is just the best way anybody's ever gonna, get rid of that emotion. You know what I mean? What is, that's the biggest problem new traders have. There are people that have been trading for 3 years and they still tell me, Daniel, I'm scared to take this trade, bro. I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. And I was like, all right, show me your history. And I see 10 different fucking pairs. And I'm like, yeah, that's why you're scared, because this one moves different than this one. And your brain is so psychologically focused on how the fuck gold moves, but you're trading Euro USD. Like, because dude, like
they're trying to have pair correlation, like, oh, like if this happens here, so
let me full margin GJ and GU buys. And like, what?
Makes no sense.
So like, yeah, if that's $1 million advice anybody's gonna tell you right now, guys, to get rid of your fucking emotions and being scared of trading, dude, just focus on one fucking pair. Exactly. Build your psychological relationship with the pair, and then watch you build that freaking confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. Start a separate Instagram, and then bam, let people see your trades. Do this and that. You know what I mean? A teacher becomes the best teacher when he remains a student.
There's one question I always wanted to ask you real quick, Q. So let's say trading didn't exist, right? Let's say there was no trading. If money didn't exist right now, and you had to add some kind of contribution or value to society, or find out some way to get whatever you want. So there's no money, but whatever you do, you could still have the Rari, you could still have the land, you could still have whatever it is that you want, and it wasn't trading. What do you think that you need?
That's a fucking crazy question. I want to hear it.
I didn't even understand that question.
Where's Jason? Jason, I need your answer on this too.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm fried. I didn't understand that question.
I didn't understand it either.
Honestly,
the question is, hold on.
It's like
Jason has rolled up
like saying,
like
like,
3 different.
if you could have everything that you have now, but what trading wasn't it, what would it be?
Right. What contribution do you think it'd be? It could be rap, I don't know, whatever the fuck you're saying.
Honestly, like, damn.
He said US30 is all I know, dog.
Bro, like, it might sound bad, bro,
at the
but
end of the day, you give more life advice and more life tips than freaking Forex tips.
Yeah, do you think that you'd be giving life advice? Like, what else besides trading that you love to do that you're like, you know what, I would do this if I'm not getting paid bread from it, but I could still get whatever I want and I feel happy doing it? What do you think it'd be?
I think it's like a motivational type speaker or some shit. I don't know.
He's out.
It's a crazy question, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, that's basically what you're doing right now.
Yeah, it works.
I was gonna say this, guys. And like choosing a pair is like that movie How to Train Your Dragon. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's actually a good ass kids movie. Get fried sometime. Watch that shit. Thank me later.
Stop.
Yo, Jason too high right now, bro.
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this.
You said train your dragon. I'm out.
No, dead ass. I gotta hear this. Basically, it's no different than the movie Avatar with the blue people, where basically you had to go sync yourself with like whatever that flying thing was. But choosing a pair is like just like How to Train Your Dragon, where basically you have to find the dragon that's your perfect fit. It might be the fastest, it might be the biggest, it might be a certain color, but for whatever reason, it's a symbiosis when you two ride together. And I just think it's dope, bro, that like like Daniel got GJ, Q got Dirty 30, Goldfather got gold, like, so find whatever that pair is and just learn how to ride
James
that shit.
Said, so what about me?
James got full margin on every.
James full margin. I'm waiting for the full margin tees to drop.
Bro, I'm doing an FIP basketball tournament regardless. Alex, come get this fucking L.
Yo, you mad?
He don't have any W's yet. Well, besides pool.
Yeah, all right. Yo, we played basketball. Me and Manuel give you the sauce. You and Migs were looking like kids, bro. And I was wearing Crocs. I was wearing Crocs.
You lost the game.
No, you guys were up by 1. We didn't end it because we got kicked out of the court.
You lost the game, bro.
I was wearing Crocs.
You lost the game.
I was straight out of money that day. No, you didn't. You were up by like 1 point.
Listen, Alex.
I got witnesses, bro. It's all right.
We gotta do a tournament. We gotta do a tournament. At the tournament, if everybody shows up, we'll do a tournament for sure.
Alex.
Alex.
It's okay. Bars. Somebody said too many.
What would be like a fucking insane idea? Like, what would be like an insane idea?
The FX Summit 2022
basketball arena. Get a whole bunch of trading influencers. You bring them all there. Everybody promotes it for like a good 2-3 months, and then all the tickets sold. will be raffled at the end to the winner of the basketball team wins the tournament.
Bro, we could do it at the convention that we're hosting next year. We've already booked. We already booked it. It's in my. I swear to God, you guys think I'm joking?
Yeah.
If we already put 100K down. Look. In all honesty, like I know I've been doing shameless plug the whole time. But if someone's willing to put 100K down and get the venue, deal with the contractors, organization, everything else from start to finish, all you got to do is show up, and then we'll have a basketball tournament in the middle of it, and then winner take all.
We need QB to make the jersey.
Listen, I'm building my own basketball court with a big ass FIP bull in the middle. That's gonna be the place. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna host something eventually, like when it comes down to it, like after I get the lights up and like all that shit. And then like we could definitely plan something,
Dude, we need the jersey.
Alex, bring an extra pair of ankles.
Yo,
bring an extra pair of ankles.
Said the ankle insurance.
Instead of our names on the back of the jersey.
I'll pull up the cameras when Mano got you with that fake. This guy was looking around like that. You know what I'm
saying?
No,
listen, I can't lie. Man, yes, you got me. That definitely got me.
This guy was looking around like, wait, what?
Instead of the back of the jerseys, you gotta wear your favorite pair instead of your name.
That would be funny.
We have, because we played kickball. You made shirts for all of us with all the logos and shit when we played kickball, which I took the W that day too. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, okay. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
I gotta go.
You didn't. No. You did not win that day.
Yeah, I know it, bro. Our team was a little weak that day. I'm not gonna lie, but it's all right. We're coming back
slowly but surely.
Fucking A, bro. But this is crazy, yo. So how many more hours you got, Roy, to make it to 24? Until 8 a.m., right?
Yeah, that's a good question, dude. I appreciate y'all keeping me company because I just basically lost track of time.
You've been up for 24 hours?
No, I'm going for 24 hours. We're gonna break the world record live trading stream for the longest YouTube stream for live trading, and we're doing it to raise money for charity for St. Jude's Research Hospital, for the Children's Hospital. We've already raised $1,500. My man Uncle Ted pulled up and just dropped the fucking band. And then basically, we're gonna trade London. If anyone makes profits, take those profits, donate some of it to the charity, and that's what we're doing.
So there's an actual charity thing.
Yeah. So the fundraiser is for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Like, we're not middlemaning it, so it goes straight to them. Like, we're not getting the funds and sending it out.
Okay.
So you can go on here, do whatever.
So I'll donate $1,000.
Oh shit! Are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
God. All right.
Where is it? Yo, who has
the noise? That's a class
who has the noise effects? Oh, Jason.
I think it's hit it again, Jason. Hit it again.
I got you.
I want the YouTube comments to go absolutely fucking crazy. If you guys just heard what happened.
Whatever Q donates, I'll match.
Bro, what's funny as shit is like I'm up.
Daniel, don't say all that. The kids will hold you to it.
Right.
I'm in an apartment on the 18th floor. I know my neighbors hate me because I be giving myself the siren late night just on some random shit as well.
Hey Q. Q, I love you, bro.
I love the way he said that shit.
Bro, I love you. Like, this guy, bro. This guy.
That man waited 3 hours to say I love you.
Bro, yeah.
No shit.
He waited in silence. He's like, okay, let me stop talking.
Awkward
I love you, bro.
Lino.
No, bro, like everything that I know today is because you, so I wanna give you like that love to you, bro.
Appreciate that, man. It means a lot. Hold on, give me 1 second.
Yo, this is
I appreciate that, but that shit made me feel awkward. I'm walking away.
Yo, you should have seen. Ask James when we're doing the podcast with Q. It'll be like a cat jumps out of like nowhere, and then his kid is like walking out the room, and he's like walking off the screen the whole time, dude. Q is such a legend for that. He was doing the podcast and like had the cat in one hand and like his daughter in the other hand, and the other cat was like dragging across the keyboard. He was like smacking the cat, dude. This shit was fucking hilarious.
The dude has like 4 cats, bro. You know that, right?
Bro, they were all over the place. Like the amount of times he had to get up was fucking hilarious.
My dogs, my girlfriend doesn't even come in my office. Fuck that.
How many dogs you got?
I have 2 dogs.
Okay.
Look, nobody got more pets than the Goldfather. I got the Dobermans here. I got the pig. I got the snakes. I got the hedgehogs.
Look, it's not a contest of who has a farm. All right, we good. Everybody love your pets, love your animals. Treat them right.
If Q was here, he'd whip out the goat and be like, "I bet you guys don't.
Yo.
You guys don't got one of these."
And then
Roy, what do you think about NFP?
Kind of same shit I said. Yeah.
What'd you say?
I said, what do you think about NFP?
Same thing that we talked about earlier. Like if the jobs numbers come out, it's going to be closer to tapering. The thing about the Fed, dude, is that they're not going to taper on like a random Friday because of some employment news. They've known the employment numbers the whole time. Bro. What's up?
Wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, because that would spook the market. That they don't want to spook the markets because then they're going to have to step in. If the markets fall too hard, they have to step in, and then the game just gets more and more obvious. They're trying to avoid spooking the markets because that's just
they've been stepped in, bro, a long time. So I'm just saying. I mean, that's the reason why my MT4 says sell only. You know.
Look, I'm still down for the sell. All the fundamentals aside, I'm with you. I'm still short on the indices, but he was talking about 2022 is when they're going to start tapering because he has to give the market enough heads up so that they don't panic. Because what institutions do if they hold a lot of equities is he's like, oh, we're going to taper today on a random fucking Friday. And suddenly everything crashes. And then if it does more than a certain percentage move, the Fed has to go in there and start buying stocks in the open market. So they're going to have to push the price back up or else we go into a recession. The Fed won't let us go into a recession. That's just not going to happen. And so to avoid that scenario, I feel like they're not going to do it unless we need to, bro. Like we need to like literally not just recover. Our GDP numbers need to exceed expectations. We need to have like China's GDP numbers, for one quarter. And they're like, all right, we're fucking taking our foot off the brakes.
Anything, so that's kind of tough. But I don't know. I mean, it's between a rock and a hard place, bro. And eventually, like, the system itself is flawed. You can only print money for so long. I'm not saying, they'll just print more money, but there's a reason why things are getting so expensive too.
I mean, that's the fucked up part about this game is they can and will keep printing money. And that's why you should own, physical assets and income producing assets, because the more that the dollar drops, the more everything else goes up. And that's kind of like, I don't really worry about that at this point. It's basically like buy crypto. That's the inflation hedge. If you're really worried about inflation, you're just going to buy cryptocurrencies because that's the insurance policy from the dollar system. When it comes to what's happening on the charts, I'm really just bullish on NAS. Or basically indices in general. So whenever they make a dip, I'm always looking to buy this thing back up.
Right.
Seeing like this whole move tomorrow.
We're like opposites, honestly.
I know, bro. Whenever I'm shorting, you're buying. Like I'll send him a screenshot of like a buy or something, and he's like looking for shorts, and he's like, dude, I knew you were buying. And then like one of us gonna be right sometimes. James been right for the past couple months. I'm gonna give it to him.
Yo, $1,000 donated.
Mr. Q Banks.
Hey,
Jason, can we get it one more time?
Yes, I got you, King. I got it ready.
Who's gonna match that? Don DeMarco.
Oh my God, I appreciate you, Q. Wow.
It takes a minute. Anonymous.
Right. Hey, why didn't you put your name, bro?
It's not anonymous. It's right above the anonymous.
Yeah, it's gonna take a second to load. Give it a sec.
Anonymous, that was Ted, right?
Yeah, it was. So I thought it was Andy because Andy walked in here on some crazy shit. Said, "Oh, you're doing a 12-hour live stream? Okay, if you do 24, I'll give you I'll do $1,000." Yeah, so I'm like, what the fuck?
No, anonymous was 4 hours ago.
Yeah, anonymous, that was Ted.
I just want to make a quick announcement. We are a quarter of the way to our goal on the GoFundMe charity donation.
There it is, Mr. Quillen.
Quarter of the way there.
Hey. Sheesh.
What it's like to drive.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is going to be awesome. Guys, if you're watching this at home, we're going to be calling out trades basically all London session. If you guys make money tonight, I definitely encourage you guys to withdraw some, donate to the link. Take the example that you just said.
I just donated $1,000 right now to you guys.
Holy shit.
Yo, like, oh my God,
this is
Let's go.
This is fucking lit. Yo, Daniel, that's a top class move too.
What happened? Did we just get another donation?
Jude's children.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I had took almost like a $600,000 loss on US 30 like this one time.
Yeah, these donations are going crazy.
I'm saying your drawdown, but you actually made money.
It was drawdown. It was drawdown.
Oh, it was drawdown.
It was drawdown for I woke up in drawdown at least.
Okay. You profited though. You profited.
Yeah. I was still overall in profit that week, but yeah, that was a big ass hit. But one time I was in drawdown for negative like $200,000 for a couple days, and then I still came out on top.
Right. Yeah, that's the trade I'm talking about. How
Yeah,
did you feel? How did you feel during that?
4 days in 4 days, but I made I think like around $300,000 or $400,000 off that trade, but I was in drawdown for a long ass time. So like that kind of shows you that like you can't really control the market as far as like, you know, rush the market. You know what I'm saying? Like the market's on its own pace.
How did you feel in those 2 days? Were you feeling like shit? Like I kind of want to close?
Bro, like I was on my phone like this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't sleep.
Glued to the shit.
I can't sleep. You know, like if I go to sleep, then the worst feeling is waking up, and then you remember that you're in trades, bro. You're scrambling all over like where the fuck is my phone?
So what was your day like? Give us the breakdown. Were you kind of just like hectic that day? Your boys are like, yo, let's chill, get some drinks. You like?
I was very aggravated. I was just very short tempered.
There's nothing worse than being in drawdown and you're in the highway and you're just driving like 80. And you're just like,
worse. Because
worse.
You're trying to drive and look at your phone at the same time. That shit is scary as hell.
And have road rage. Damn.
I mean, look, don't you got a Model X? You can just watch it and put self-driving.
No, for real.
No, that's when I had my Model X. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, when I had my Model X, I was always on my phone, checking emails, trading, doing everything else except driving.
You sold it?
Yeah, I've been sold it. That's
I
why
didn't know that, bro. I went and bought my own Model X because it was so fucking fire.
No. I had it for like 2 years though. I had it for like 2 years. I loved it, but I just wanted something that I could flex and have a kid.
Just wrapped it too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I just put the stars in the headliner, got my shit wrapped. You know, I'm carbon fiber. Oh,
see, but
crazy.
I have a kid too, so I want to be able to flex and pull up in a flex.
I feel
with having my kid inside the car too, you know what I'm saying?
And teacher confidence.
I feel like if you wrap a car, you just instantly like get this type of like, you know, little karma or something where it's just gonna be like you have to sell it at one point to upgrade it or something.
Yeah, no, like I feel like
BMW wrapped it, sold it. McLaren, same thing, sold it.
Yeah.
The Performante, same thing, sold it. Urus, same thing, sold it. Everything I've wrapped has been sold.
I feel like the wrap is like the last phase of trying to keep it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been doing. I was like, yo, let me fall in love with the car again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse. There's nothing worse than just, you know, having such a very expensive piece, you know, freaking literally a house on wheels, and you just don't even drive the thing. You know what I mean?
Yo, real quick, guys, I just want to give special shout out Cody Pippin. Not sure who Cody Pippin is. Cody, is that you?
Yeah,
he's there right there. That's
Cody,
my boy.
Appreciate you. Lori, be smooth like be smooth. I appreciate you. Daniel Savage stepped in, matched Q.
With the match.
Q came up out of nowhere, right? Was just, you know what I'm saying? Just threw it out there. So this has been a very successful stream. Like, honestly, guys, what I've seen from this is the social media shit is really cool. But everybody being able to get on and just generate this money for a good cause, that's a superpower. That's like energy that you guys hold. And so I really appreciate every single one of you guys for making it on the stream, you know, like taking some time out and getting on here.
So personally, like this is how I see that entire stuff, right? I feel like it shouldn't be an issue for all of us to put up $500 or put up $1,000 for people that's actually, you know, like really, really making it happen in the trading world. You know what I'm saying? Like we make money every day. So put up some fucking money. You know what I'm saying? Put up some fucking money, help somebody else, and call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you're definitely gonna hit your goal. Probably even by London session or some shit, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody is on the live and everything, especially like big people that's inside the niche and that kind of shit, we make money enough to like, listen, like $1,000 is not gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying?
Down another 750.
Yeah.
I put two.
I mean, I also think it's going to be kind of fun. What Andy said was that he's going to load $1,000 account. He's going to show up here at 2 a.m. and I'm going to call out signals. And if he makes money on that account, he's going to donate everything, right? So if he makes 10,000 on the account, he's going to donate it. So that's motivation for me to call out these fire signals. one, and two, I just think that's like it's a really fun
1 to 1,000 leverage,
dude.
What was the broker that used to do 1 to 3,000?
FX Glory.
FX Glory. The motherfuckers was crazy.
Jesus.
Listen, Christ. I was telling somebody about it the other day. I was like, people that were around at that time, they know about how fun that shit was. You know what I'm saying?
That shit was crazy.
They still
Listen,
do that
imagine
shit. Dude.
loading an account with $100 and then do 2 lots on that shit. Like that shit was crazy back in the day. But yo, I'm gonna holler at you guys. I'm about to be out. I'm about to get ready to go to sleep and shit. So
yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
Holler at y'all.
Dude, thank you a ton for stopping by. Can't thank you enough for dropping those gems. For real.
Got you, bro.
Legendary.
Yo, Q, let me know when you want the sauce in the basketball. I haven't forgotten.
Mr. L, relax. Relax.
Nice, man.
Dude, we're gonna have to see this.
I'm probably about to be doing the same thing. My boy's, he's waiting on me to go get in bed with him. He's been waiting on it for a little bit, but what's it called? I'm gonna text a couple of you guys. Jamie, I ain't forgot about you about the big project I got going on. And Stu, same thing. I'm gonna reach out to you too, brother. It was good chatting with you guys up. I'm out to head about it too.
Yes, sir. Love, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, this is fucking awesome. Yo, who was here for like the 2 hours that Ted and Anthony were basically talking me out of my GU short?
Well, yeah, we were there. We were at sushi and we heard it all.
Bro, that should never hit your stop, right? I told you to hold that shit, bro.
Oh, I'm still holding on the what's it called on the $100 account. I'm still holding. Don't
bro. It's exactly what I said, bro. Like not saying it was gonna go up and make a right. That shit's recorded. Go look. It's gonna go up and make a right.
The $100 account sitting right. First off.
Wait, what is that, bro? $6, bro? Come on now.
Bro, this is we're flipping a $100 account. How fast do you think this shit's gonna go?
Hey James, the humble don't stumble,
watching
bro.
grass grow.
I donated. Check out the donate. Went through donated.
My fucking guy. Appreciate you. I mean, the $100 is just the most relatable thing. It'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna fund $1,000 account and just do this challenge and see what we could do. Versus, let's see what we could do with 24 hours with $100 and see how far we could take that. I mean, 60%, fucking not gonna, whatever. Whatever the account is, I'm gonna double it and just match it, right? So like, if the account's at 300, I'll throw another 300 on top. If it's at 1,000, I'll do another 1,000 on top.
Facts.
So we'll beef it up. Don't worry.
All facts, no printer. Straight up.
Looks good.
I think you could hit the 15K goal though.
The goal,
what?
The goal was 10.
Oh, it's 10K.
With yours, we're about to be like 800 out as soon as you like.
I threw 500, and then with this dude's 1,000, and then you probably get more people in there. Yeah, you'll hit the 10K no doubt.
Dude, we got plenty of time. We still got 7.5 hours of the stream. We pushing.
Yeah, we literally just brought like $8,000 in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, this last half hour to hour was just a massitive influx of volume.
Yo, can I share my chart real quick for gold real quick, bro?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yo, I'm gonna clear it. I gotta wake up tomorrow early. AU longs, once AU retest that structure level, you guys already know. Roy, shout out to you for hosting all this, bro. First time anybody here has done this. Shout out to you. Everybody else, take it easy. Enjoy the Zoom, and I'm gonna be up, bro. I'm out there to the summit, so I'm gonna be up for the. Oh, hold up.
What is the FX Summit?
It's a convention we're hosting next year, but I'm gonna let Alex do his thing first.
Yeah, but yeah, no, AU's at the area of interest, so now we just wait for rejections to go along. Yeah, we'll check that out. But yeah, shout out to all you guys for hopping on, and I'm excited for how this shit's gonna look. So yeah, take it easy, guys. I'm gonna be on at 8 in the morning, Roy. I'm gonna be on at 8.
DJ looks like it's about
Alex, I'm gonna be here, brother. I appreciate you for real. Thanks for sticking by.
So I'm gonna give a quick chart breakdown on what I think about gold. Excuse my mouse because this nigga James is left-handed, so I'm like, I don't even know how he does this shit.
Yeah,
like this motherfucker is a mutant.
My man had the chart for 3 seconds, already roasted James, bro. What are you...
So what I'm looking at right now, it's just so hard to use this left-handed, bro. I don't know how the hell you do this shit. What I'm looking at now is I like to use the volume profile. I also use Bookmap to show me liquidity zones and liquidity levels. They also show the orders of how many orders are in the book. But I don't have that software on here. Oh, you do? You have it on here? Yeah, oh shit, but you have like the DX feed loaded up and everything? I don't know. Probably not. All right, never mind. Cool. So personally, long term, I think this is going down. One reason why I think that is because of the trend line. Damn, this shit is hard to use left-handed, bro. I feel like I'm in accessibility mode right now. Okay, cool. Turn this shit off. All right, there you go. Go ahead. Okay, cool. One reason I think is also because of the trend line, and I also think because of this resistance level right here. We see that there was a lot of buyers at this level and then they got pushed back. So this lets you show that this is more of a danger zone, okay? And then if you look at 1760, that is also a resistance level. And at this level right here, we see during this section of 1763, 1760, 1759, and 1757, we could see that there's buyer's rejection. I like to put my lines on exhaustion zones because I look at candlesticks as like different body sizes, right? You look at someone's body size, someone's super brolic, doesn't matter if you know them or not. You can't tell whether they're a good person or a bad person, but you could tell whether they're self-disciplined or not. You could tell their habits. So if you see someone that's super skinny, you're like, okay, this person's not working out. You see someone that's super brolic, you say, okay, this person's self-disciplined. You see someone that's fat as shit, you're like, okay, they're not going to the gym. You can make that assumption. So for me, from the body sizes of these candlesticks, I am making the assumption that because we see a lack of buyers in this area and we see price wicking back here and price wicking back here, that these zones may be zones of rejection.
Yo,
telling you, bro.
Really fucking.
Yeah, bro. Yo, DJ, all the yen pairs are dropping. They're gonna drop, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, yo, it looks like shorts to me.
Yeah, GU is definitely getting ready for shorts. I think a sell limit at 3.6, 150. So here's what I see on the smaller time frame for GU. This might be one of the this might be the first trade.
That's a real clean short.
If we just get like a pullback, enter up here,
stimulate.
Get a short to the downside.
All day. Yes, I have. You guys mind if I break down GJ?
Oh,
go ahead, bro.
All right, so this is what I got for GJ, right? So let's look over here, right? So notice how we have like this like 152, 200 area, correct? So one thing that I'm really looking at this area is like, if you actually kind of like look over here, you can see like we have like hella rejections over here. And then like we have like massive pushes, and then we have like breaks, and then we have massive pushes, and then like hella rejections and hella pushes, like massive pushes and rejections in those areas, right? So I'm very like, okay, potential big freaking move in this area, right? So when I see shit like that, you know, I always try to be as most patient as possible because I want to be able to get that one trade where it's going to be that winner, right? Because if I can get that winning trade, then okay, it's going to be a massive one. You know what I mean? I don't got to figure out getting my money back, and then I get that push, and then, you know, this, either way, I'm a scalper, right? So what I'm looking for right now and what I'm actually seeing is I'm looking at this 4-hour chart, right? So this 4-hour chart looks like we potentially, you know, we got a brand new 4-hour candle, you know what I mean? But we could potentially be just making the 4-hour lows before, you know, we flip bullish and then wick fill and make the 4-hour highs. You know what I mean? But that's that one setup that I like to like really, you know, really pay attention to, right? Because notice over here, I'm actually going to highlight this, right? So this is the psychology around this little setup that I'm looking at, right? So I'm actually going to write over here, I'm going to magnetize this area. And then I'm looking at the 4-hour, right? But look at this, right? Look at how the daily, right? If the daily, if price starts trading under this level on the daily, it's rejection. It's a rejection on the daily level. You know what I mean? But on the 4-hour, it looks kind of like we might get a break and a retest, correct? So what I'm looking for is I'm looking at this area right here, this low. And if price could start trading under this area, then I will be potentially looking for, you know, some shorts, you know, maybe a little scalp to an intraday area trade. So, I mean, shorts under this low right here on the 4-hour look kind of promising because it'll basically just kind of be like a fake out on the 4-hour and then a rejection on the daily. You know what I mean? So if I were to sell GJ tonight, which I don't trade, like I know I'm a London session trader, but I don't like to trade, you know, the London before the NFP. You know what I mean? So I look at it like a holiday for myself. You know, I take a little break. So this area for sure, that's what I'm looking for. Like as a quick little scalp if we start trading under here, right? So that's what, potential 17, 18 pips right there. And if price really, really wants to bleed, you know what I mean? Like either way, that's a nice little push right there. That's a real nice push right there. And then we have new highs being made, right? So, I mean, there's very big potential that we can get a massive drop and then a correction all the way back to that, you know, that new resistance that we're making right now. You know what I mean? So I really, you know, I get bashed for it. It is what it is. But you know what? At the end of the day, I make good money. You know, I've made some good money, but I look at these SMAs and I kind of use them and I built like a little like patience kind of little method around them. So Now that I have that 1 hour SMA right here, this 8 SMA is rejecting at that level of support, which also kind of indicates me, okay, I mean, could be bullish too. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have this level right over here. You know what I mean? And that's also very promising as well. So this 200 level is kind of very psychological in my opinion. So basically on this 30-minute candle, I mean, if we start to break these lows right over here, there's a very high potential that we're most likely to come down here. You know what I mean? So pretty promising. And then we could potentially come back and then retest this 50 SMA right over here. And if I were to take sells, this would be a nice exit area right over here, this 50 SMA. Because if I draw my fib there, I'm pretty sure it's a golden zone right there.
If you were to take a short, would you wait for a pullback or would you wait for a break under that yellow zone and a retest?
No, I'm going pure price action right there off momentum. Just like that. Not waiting for a retest.
Okay.
Yo, I just wanted to appreciate the breakdown, Savage. And appreciate everybody else that came onto the webinar. Yo, bro, I'm out.
Yo, Roy, thank you for having me, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
Everyone that came on, bro. And I'll be back on later, bro. I'm gonna be trading in London, so I'll definitely come back, hopefully with some trades open. We'll see what can happen, you know.
Y'all stay safe out there, man. Be, you know what I'm saying? Be safe.
Yeah, we're gonna go for a little joyride and then we'll be back.
I'm gonna go slow. He's gonna go fast. So don't worry. I'll be okay.
Look, just be safe out there. Appreciate y'all hopping on for real. Like seriously, appreciate you guys putting some time into this.
Of course, man.
Yo, DJ's about to break that low, bro. I think.
Yeah, no cap. Same with GU.
We'll see. But yeah, I'll be back on soon.
Appreciate you. Also, those that I haven't got to meet yet. My Instagram is _.
Damn, shameless.
So I just wanted to just like shout myself out real quick. But I appreciate the boy.
No doubt, bro. I appreciate you guys getting on.
FX Summit
2022, baby.
2022.
See you there.
All right, yo, we could doing that basketball court shit.
But I don't know if you guys want that.
I want that.
Whatever y'all bring, it won't do it. But I appreciate the effort, and it's gonna be lit. Just having it done is gonna be awesome.
All right, appreciate you, homie. Thank you for everything, man.
No doubt, y'all. Be safe out there.
Is that Mr. Andy Peters I hear there?
Yes, sir. It is in my not Tom sexy voice.
In the flesh. How was the yacht life?
Oh, dude, it was amazing.
You enjoy yourself?
Oh yeah, it was chilled out. Really chilled out night.
Fuck yeah. Yo, real quick, I'm seeing a nice swing position on NZD CAD. It's got to pull back up. It's going to have to like come down here to one of these levels, reject back up. But after it comes back above these daily highs, dude, I think we have a nice swing position for like a month. NZD CAD got something I can keep my eye on.
Bro, GU melted.
GU.
All right, thank God I'm at least in one winning trade. Fucking hell. And like, guys, this is recorded for 2 fucking hours. I'm like trying to fight my bias. I'm trying to fight staying in my bias while I have Ted and Anthony trying to talk me out of this sell. And if you guys know, like, you know, I look up to both those guys. So both of them sitting there like, oh, don't take it. I'm sitting there like, fuck, dude. What am I supposed to do? Still managed to take it. I'm about to post this thing up. If anybody was here earlier this morning and you guys took that GU short, then you're in deep profits. Mm-hmm. All the other moves, they're kind of just sitting in standstill.
Do you think US30 is gonna push up for that sell zone, or is just gonna drop from where it's at?
You know, it's hard to tell. The way it's looking right now, I kind of want to see a push to the downside, but I don't think that we're gonna make it past this low. I have a feeling that if we do get a short-term push, then it's just gonna be short-term, and then it's gonna come back up to that sell zone.
Yeah, because it's staying on top of the 200. And it's about to bring the 14 and 50 right up there with it. And anytime US30 does that, it will typically do a nice 30 to 40 pip push.
Push up, you mean?
Or push down. Yeah, push up. It's got probably 10, about maybe 10 minutes left to bring that 50 up. If it doesn't bring the 50 up, then it'll fall because the 50 is still touching the 200 pretty good. See, I'll run the 14, the 50, and the 200.
All right, my stops are on break even for U30. Partials are taken. Let's see if we got to follow through for that runner. Andy, you still in that GJ?
Yes, I am.
All righty.
Still in the GJ. Literally almost at just break even. My entry was at 152.186.
Okay. Are you still holding U30? Did you close any of the positions or no?
Yeah, I've got all them closed except for 2 of my cells.
All right, awesome stuff.
Is James
Yeah,
on?
what up? What up? What up? We out here.
Snuck back in. Tell me why James just sent. James, you can tell him the story. He was just in that same U30 short. Just
Yeah, I actually took 3 entries. I already closed and entered and closed like 3 times, but I want to see it break the lows that it's at right now before it goes lower. I caught like 150 pips in that range just now.
Nice.
Yeah, bro. Some light. Made a quick 12% on the torch first trade.
Dude, that was a hell of a first trade.
Good yeah, it was a vibe, bro. It was a vibe. And honestly, it's making higher lows. If you put like a trend line between those, like it hasn't broken that higher low yet. So I'm just waiting for that pretty much, yeah. But honestly, wasn't a lot of volume like I was expecting. Like the M30 and the H1 previous didn't close strongly, so I wasn't too. If it had engulfed and it was stronger, I would have probably held, but it didn't.
Dude, it's literally just ranging right here. And so yeah, it's anticlimactic because I was expecting a move, going into tomorrow, but nah. Let's fucking go.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
There it is.
God.
Look at GJ melting, bro.
Bro, let the profits run.
God damn. 900 pips and running. Jesus.
Did you say 900 pips?
900 pips, sir.
I think I might be getting back on US 30. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm protected on my first entry.
Dude, I'm securing half this last entry and just letting it go. The rest can do whatever it wants.
GJ literally dropped like 10 pips in 1 minute. Yo, GJ's getting volatile right now.
Yeah. I would take your partial profits here. But I mean, the momentum of this, I think it's going to break. Yeah. I can see it breaking for sure.
That was amazing. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm happy. And dude, the thing is, it still got hella room to the downside.
Yep.
Good shit.
Dude, I just completed the donation. It hit 10K.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I just did the last one. It's not refreshing on your end.
I'll give it a sec.
Yeah.
It takes a second for whenever someone does it. Amon, I appreciate you, bro. Did you hit the exact amount?
Yeah, if you can see on my screen.
Fuck yes. Dude. Fuck yes.
Let's go, Amon.
That is awesome.
Look at that.
Congratulations, guys.
We fucking
wow, there we fucking go.
10,200. And that's still not including, guys. Keep in mind what we have left on the table. All right, guys, check that out. $10,200 has been donated. We hit the goal. We still have this account here that I'll be donating all of, which is currently at $1,290. And then I told Roy I'd give him the $1,000, on top of this account altogether when this goes. So as it's sitting right now, guys, we've got, what is that? 2,200. We're sitting at almost $13,000. Let's go. Congrats to everybody.
I want to give a special shout out to everybody who hopped on the live, who was here all day, and folks who just hopped in and out. If you guys donated any amount of money, $50, $100, whatever it is, I really appreciate you. Nobody had to pull that out of their pocket. And really, guys, just show some love for the folks on this call. Like, Andy doesn't have to be here. Daniel doesn't have to be here. So show some love. Let them know that, they're appreciated on this call. And Andy, seriously, I appreciate you for pulling up and definitely showing out. This 24-hour stream idea was, I don't know where the hell it came from, but I'm glad we did it.
It sounded good. It just sounded good.
So ladies and gents, if you guys were waiting to see us hit that limit, if you guys are on YouTube, appreciate you guys for pulling up. Probably not the last one of these that we'll do, but this was a pretty special event. So we're going to sit here and let's really savor this for a little bit before we do the next one. 52 people donated, guys. That's really awesome. So that just shows community coming together, fucking putting differences aside, donating some money for the kids. It ends up playing out for everybody. So this has been probably the most successful live stream I've ever done, the most successful live stream I've ever been on. And it's really all up to you guys, or it's all, dude, I need sleep. It's all thanks to you guys. So appreciate everybody who tuned in and appreciate everybody who donated.
I got a question coming to just about price action, if you don't mind answering.
No, my one bit.
So just like a quick analysis. So you look at the daily and it looks like it's setting up to take out the high of the day.
So we talking about US 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then of course you go to the hour 4 and it's been painting a bull flag. and then you can drop down to the hour 1, and it's the same thing as a bull flag with an inverted painting. So can you use those as multiple confirmations?
Yep.
I mean, I can keep doing that all the way down. So like in different time frames, like everything's matching up. Like I've come up with about 6 or 7 confirmations.
Dude, yeah. I mean, same thing with the swing highs and swing lows. I mean, connecting the swing low markers are showing us bouncing off a trend to increase up.
Yeah. Because normally I do that, but I haven't, like this whole session since I've been up, like I haven't looked at the swing high, swing lows on that, because I'm trying to learn like a different, because if I can add the swing highs and then just add that as another confirmation, then I'm just going to be that much better later on.
The one thing that we always have to remember with NFP with US 30 is they do not care about structure.
I got you.
Like it really doesn't matter. Oh, so if this is a normal trading day, I would be stacking buys as tight as I could, knowing that we have a bull flag. US 30, when you've got a bull flag, it goes. Like it freaking rocks and roll. But having a bull flag on NFP, you might as well not even have one. So, I mean, I'm still in my buys right now. And I've got my stop losses pretty tight. My stop loss is only from my buy entry. It is only 54 pips away. And I'll be I'm talking quick to get into sells if we get below 34,630.
Yeah.
So we break 34,630, I'm loading up on sells.
That's where I had it. I've got it at 629.665.
Yeah, and I'd run them all the way down to 34,467 before I closed any profits. I want to see this thing like just either fly through the top of your screen or bury itself in the bottom of your keyboard.
Either of those. I'm starting to think it's going to be anticlimactic. Just throwing that out there. But we got about 2 minutes left. Let me do a quick recap. All right, guys. So basically everybody in the trading niche showed up. Today was awesome. It's been probably the most incredible 24 hours in social Forex that I've seen. We managed to raise $10,420. Shout out to Drew Johnson. Really appreciate you guys that donated. We smashed the goal of 10,000 that we had. We made this in under 24 hours, which is incredibly impressive. All the proceeds are going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So that's what I got. I'm signing off so I can go sleep and do what I got to do. Andy, thank you for putting this together. Cameron, thank you for having this wild idea. Everybody else, Chart Addicts members, stay safe. Happy and safe trading today with non-farm payroll. If you guys are watching at home on YouTube, make sure to click like and subscribe. All right, that's all I got, guys. Take it easy.
All right, what's up, everybody? Very successful trading stream. We were going for $10,000. We ended up hitting almost $13,000. I want to thank all of the guests that stopped by and donated some money. You guys are awesome. Andy Peters stopped by the podcast. Andy Peters stopped by the live stream, and he ended up putting $1,000 in if we stayed for 24 hours. And so we ran the stream for 24 hours and raised $12,900. Quick applause. Ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, the FX Summit 2022 is going to be from May 13th to May 16th, 2022 in Miami, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to fxsummit2022.com for more information and to reserve your tickets. You will not want to miss this event.